We don't hear you.
What's up and what's going on, fellow Pantheon streamers? We appreciate all of you guys being here with us this evening for another Pantheon Thursday. We have a few things that we are going to get into with you guys this evening. We're going to get into Sinners and its reviews and its how everybody's just loving Sinners right now. We're going to get into all that. We're going to get into Tom Cruise and the Oscars. We're going to talk about the Fantastic Four trailer, the Harry Potter HBO Snape casting becoming official, Star Wars Celebration in a few weeks, Lanterns wrapping up their pilot, the Batman 2 may not happen, and then they're going to talk about something with WrestleMania.
No, you have a
Before we get into
WrestleMania
any of that, I don't. I don't even know what that is, but Marcus,
bullshit.
since we saw you last, I don't know what WrestleMania is. I've heard the
Pure
term, obviously,
unadulterated,
but I don't know what it is.
That you don't know what WrestleMania is. I
I've
bet
heard
my
the
last
term.
dollar you don't know what WrestleMania is.
You might have lost it.
Nope.
Who owns
doing
the
great.
brand of WrestleMania?
Doing good. What's going on with you, Darius?
That's great. Doing good. Like I said, I told them before we started. Well, I didn't tell you guys before we started. Well, I did. I said I might not be on because my camera, it's working. So I'm either here for a good time and not a long time, or here for the long haul, and it's just going to be blurry on y'all's end.
We'll fix it in
Other than
post.
that, I'm all right.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We'll fix it in post.
Chill, how have you
Orange
been?
Soda on tap.
I've been all right, bro. I've been taking care of diet and pretty healthy. Yeah, all is well. Thinking about Sinners and how it's going to be a success. You know, that's watching Ianu. Ianu's a great show right now. So I'm surrounding myself with positive images, and that's happy.
Make sure you bring up Ianu at some point during the stream because I've got a proposal for you.
We'll do it right after Darius's WrestleMania picks.
Cool. I think what you're looking for in that show is there.
That'll be a
It
very
just
quick
may not be at
segment.
that show.
Where do you want to start then? We can do Lanterns. It'll be pretty quick. You're a little bit of delayed, but I don't think it matters. I think he was done talking. Let's start with Lanterns. My boy on a carpet answered a question. I think he's the director. Yeah, but there is a lag. So I just heard you say it right now. Anyways, Lanterns director. Go ahead.
And what's next? More TV? Another movie?
I wrapped a TV pilot yesterday in LA. I just made it back in time for this, and that's Lanterns for HBO and DC. Look it up.
Look it up.
Look it up.
Look it up.
I'm worried because why would you wrap a pilot? Like usually people do pilots so that they can test it and they can see if it'll go forward.
That was weird, right? What do you mean wrapping a
greenlit
pilot? Did he mean to say wrapping the first season, wrapping the first arc? Because pilot to me sounds like y'all didn't have anything, and the first concept is now just being put together, which is not. It feels completely different from what we were pitched, right?
My concern.
Go ahead.
I thought you were done.
No, go ahead.
My concern with pilot is that pilot usually means that we got to test it out. Like there's no guarantee that this is going to go for 5 more or 7 or 8 more episodes. We did it. We wrapped. That's why I'm able to leave. Well, like how much time between wrapping the pilot episode, which I always pilot, I assume it's a 1 episode thing. Yep. How much time do you have to wrap between the pilot and the second episode? Isn't everyone supposed to be on set for 60 straight days and we don't break? So like the pilot gives it a chance that it might not happen. It's scary. It's scary. We don't know James Gunn. James Gunn promised us like 8-9 things back in January 2023. None of it is coming to fruition, bro. Not all of it.
I'm also just confused because I thought nothing gets announced at DC unless we already have a finished script. Finished script means we have a pilot in place. So I'm like, I'm confused. How do we have a finished script for the season? But we just now, when did this interview come out?
I saw this 5 days ago.
Okay, so this week within a week or so just finished the first pilot. Do we even know? Do we know what the show is going to be at this point if the pilot just got done?
It's concerning. It's concerning what it could mean. And maybe if James Gunn comes on the show, he'll be like, no, listen, Marcus, listen, Darius. I always do pilots on the off, just traditionally, that's how things run. On the off chance that, something goes wrong, our actors, there's many things that you're not thinking about, but we intend 100% for all of our shows that reach production. The goal is 999% chance it will actually come to fruition. We just have to go by the way that the studio wants us to go, and we have to do pilots, a couple days off, and see how we're going to format it, see how we feel about episode 1 to know how episode 2, 3, and 4 are going to go.
That's good enough bullshit for me. I guess we'll just see how hodgepodge the series looks when it comes out. If it's very choppy, if it seems like they had a hard time deciding on what arc was going to be the main through line for the season, then it will always track back to this point where the guy is big upping his project. He's advertising essentially for a product that is still in flux. It's a little dumbfounding, the quote. Again, British guy, so maybe his version of pilot is like, all right, I shot the first 4 episodes for the initial arc of the TV show, and I sent it over to James Gunn. He's reviewing it right now. Like, maybe that's his version of the pilot. Maybe that's the British version. Tell us, Stamina, is that the UK version of pilot, the first main arc of the story?
Make yourself useful, Stamina.
What happens is black people. So didn't read enough fast enough, I guess.
It said black peoples hope everyone is good health and good cheer.
For sure.
F4 trailer was highlight of my day. Not saying that. Good evening, fam. Hello, good people.
What up?
I wonder if y'all got Kugler some slack if you like Sinners. Figure drawing, thank you for writing this so I can explain. I have no hatred, no resentment towards Ryan Coogler's Sinners movie. I disagree with him killing T'Challa. I criticize that thing. Anything he does in the future, I'm okay with supporting. There's only one director who I won't support, and that's Rian Johnson after what he did for The Last Jedi. Everyone else, Nate Moore, when he goes on to do new things, I'm going to support Nate Moore too. You guys want to clarify that also for figure drawing?
I ain't got no beef for Ryan Coogler, man. I can say something negative about you without having an unending vendetta against you. Like, he's not my super villain. He's not. It's just criticism, man. When you make something bad, it is to be critiqued. When you make something good, it's to be exalted. It's not hard. It's not hard math.
Darius, Ryan Coogler.
I have no issues with Ryan. I mean, but I say that all the time. Every time I talk about Ryan, I always say I don't have an issue with him. It's the decision he made. So that's my only issue with Ryan.
Best of luck on Sinners for sure. I know I've gotten mostly good reviews from the people I've heard that have seen it. There's one thorn in the side that'll probably be in the chat here in a minute. Tina says she was a little wishy-washy on it, so I guess we'll have to see how it goes.
She said it was ranked 5. I saw on Twitter.
Under Fruitvale and Wakanda Forever, which is that's not good. That ain't good. Ain't good. Fruitvale Station came out 13 years ago, and Wakanda Forever was trash. So that ain't good in my book, but we'll see.
I don't think I can call Wakanda Forever trash.
It was garbage.
I don't know if I can do that.
It was pure, unadulterated garbage, even outside of the T'Challa thing, right? Outside of the obvious.
That's what I mean, though. Like, that's such a big, thing blocking my vision. Like, can't even talk about the movie.
I think he could have been a little bit more dutiful in tying off the last movie into this movie. Nothing really made sense. Where we left off in Black Panther 1 and where we ended up in the very beginning of Wakanda Forever, even if we're using the blip as an example, they didn't start us off in the middle of the blip. They started us off while, we were going through this thing with T'Challa. All the focus was on T'Challa. There was too many open-ended questions as to how we got to the point we started at. for it to be a coherent story for me. We could be here all night if you want me to go through the specifics, so I won't do that. But
Nah, let's just wrap up on this Lanterns talk. Well, we did. I think we're done with that. Are we done with that, Darius?
I really don't have much to say about Lanterns. They're filming it right now. We saw a few behind the scenes photos. Again, I mean, I agree with what Marcus and everybody else is saying. I mean, I'm at this point in my fandom, I don't know if I can really be concerned. And I say that because Marvel is where they are, Star Wars is where they are, DC is where they are. So at this point in my fandom, being concerned is just like I put the dog in the house. Everything's on fire, but I'm fine. So at this point in they're filming and everything, if the pilot is the only thing they filmed, I mean, I'm not a film guy, so I don't know, but that is, I feel like they've been filming a long time.
I'll say, is this the
And you've
behind
done one
schedule kind
episode.
of thing? Yeah, are they behind or what was just the
know.
pilot?
Oh, that's not even
I
the
don't know.
biggest concern
Yeah,
at DC. If I
we'll
can
see.
shift over to Batman, the Batman 2
Mm.
is like in a state of we don't know what's going on, and we can't say what's going on either when it comes to Matt Reeves. No one is allowed to know what the problem is that he's experiencing, but we got evidence and we've got suggestions that it's due to his health. And everyone who's reporting on it is like tiptoeing around it. I heard Grace Randolph tiptoe around it and be like, she compared it to Chadwick Boseman's situation. It's testy basically, if that movie even happens and what happens with it.
I think her quote was, "It's not exactly Chadwick Boseman, but it's almost as worse, or it's almost as bad." And I'm like, well,
With
what is almost as bad?
with
Is it happening to somebody close to him?
Pattinson?
No, with Matt Reeves. They're saying that he
Oh,
may be
I was gonna
sick, or
say.
someone in his family may be sick, or
Oh,
something like that.
okay. I was gonna say Pattinson. I was gonna say, well, he's lying because he's filming for Dune right now.
Yeah, no, he's
That's not
good.
true.
He's doing Dune. He just got off of Mickey 17, which is cratering. But yeah, he's shooting. He's good. He's fine. It's Reeves that's in question right now.
If there is something wrong with Reeves, whether that be with him personally or with his family, or someone, whatever it may be with him, they need to go ahead and start making a decision on what they're going to do. I feel about the Batman 2 the way I feel about Beyond the Spider-Verse. Time. It has been so long since we've seen, what was it, 2022 was when the Batman came out, and was a very long film. Now it's 2023, 2024, 2025, 3 years. We're supposed to have the film in what, 2026, 2027? That's quite some time for us to, and the script is still not turned in. Again, yeah, he may be having the personal problems, but if he is having the personal problems, go ahead and pull the plug. Pull the plug on it.
Well, maybe not even pull the plug, just pivot, right? You can't ignore the fact that it's the most popular thing going on right now. There's nothing James Gunn has introduced into this universe that's more popular than Batman or Penguin. Nothing. But it just isn't the case. So if that is the shining star of the studio, and Reeves can't continue for some reason or another, if it's a can't versus a won't, right? Then you're right, a grown-up decision has to be made, but I don't think that grown-up decision is scrap what people are clamoring for. See, that's what they got swept up in with the whole Snyder thing. Let's just throw away what people actually want. Let's find a way to move it. Is there anybody else that we feel like can match Reeves tonally? It's not going to be the same story. It's not going to follow the same arcs. We don't want it to follow the same arcs because we were always having a clash issue. Anyway, I don't think this is all because Matt Reeves is or isn't having health issues. I think there was a bit of headbutting before, because even before this news came up here, it was contentious. It was it's here or there. Brave New Bold seemingly got announced before these guys had any chance to work anything out. So that had to have rubbed him a certain kind of way, knowing that his movie was already in the universe. If that's the case, then who do we know that we feel like can match that? at least in terms of tone, can give us the same kind of Batman, maybe just not from the same exact perspective, move forward with the successful property, I don't think a director should. I mean, the same thing that we're talking about with the Black Panther franchise. I don't think the director should stop a Batman franchise.
Yeah, because he already wrote it also, so
I'm
he'll be
saying-
part of it.
Right.
I'm
Give
not
his
saying
writer's
stop
credit.
stop
Mhm.
Batman. I'm saying we've already, if this is true, I mean, Screen Rant reported on it. I had remembered that somebody a few weeks ago said it in John Campia's chat, and they were like, "Oh, we haven't seen anything about that, so it can't be true or anything like." Or it's not true right now, because he didn't say it can't be true. He said it's not true because we haven't heard anything like credible from it. He's like, this could be coming from anybody. Well, Screen Rant reported on it that Brandon Skellner has indicated that DC Studios has been in contact with him about the Batman in DC, and he said, "I think there's some awareness of me on some level. Probably, I know that there's always." I'm sorry. He said, "I know there's a way." They're a ways away from doing that. He's talking about the Brave and the Bold. Whoever this dude, I don't know who he is, but the dude that they're claiming that DC is looking at him for Batman. You still have the Brave and the Bold. So yes, Penguin was very massively successful. The Batman was successful as well, but you've got one film with that came out in 2022. I don't think that the Batman fans would be, and when I say the Batman, I'm talking about Pattinson's the Batman fans, would be too hurt to where the pivot, if you did scrap it, is just Brave and the Bold, because it's going into your DC universe anyway. The Batman that Pattinson's doing.
Go ahead.
I was just saying the Batman that he's doing, I mean, it's what we've talked about before. You'll have two Batmen at the same time. So you're going to have what's going on in his universe and then what's going on in James Gunn's universe. And
so I do think that they have to be careful, right? Because I mean, we literally just watched this happen. It's not so much of how long ago or how recent was the property. It was how popular it was, right? There's a reason why people are still drooling over Henry Cavill Superman. It's not that it wasn't the Black Adam.
There's lots of reasons why women are drooling over Henry Cavill Superman.
Oh, not women. We talking the people who want the comic book fans, the fans of Henry Cavill Superman. The Man of Steel is the greatest comic book movie ever made fans. Those guys, right? Like, I think those guys were going to be kind of butthurt about not getting Henry Cavill, whether or not he showed up, had that appearance in Black Adam or not. I don't think it's the Regency. I think it's the popularity. They came out, they spent money on it, they got invested in it, they wanted to see the arc continue. And so if you're telling Batman fans, even whether it's the Batflex, the Pattinson fans, the Keatons, whoever it is, they just want the most popular version. They want the one that's going to work. And right now, if I was a betting man, I'd be putting my money on the continuation, regardless of who's driving the bus, the continuation of the Batman, as opposed to what James Gunn and company are cooking up with maybe this guy who's, kind of floating his name in the ether.
I'm going to give these guys so much grace, because when this James Gunn DC Studios thing happened, well, they already signed the Batman and Batman 2 and the sequel's already coming. And he's just like assuming the position from a studio who didn't know what was going on. Even David Zaslav doesn't know what's going on. That's why he hired James. He's like, you guys figure it out. You're smart with this comic stuff. So whether the Batman 2 happens or Brave and the Bold happens and it's still Robert Pattinson, and we just say, yeah, all that was canon. It's retroactively, we'll say all that stuff that you saw in Gotham with the Riddler, it counts. No matter what they do with it, I'm okay. They have so much grace with me with how they start in DC. Not with you?
I don't know how much grace I'm supposed to be giving them. I mean, I feel like we've put our feet pretty deep into the water, and I don't know about y'all, but that shit's cold.
Yeah, but all they gave us was Creature Commando so far. I can't go off of that.
No, okay, so
I can, whenever you set up in a room said the DC universe is fractured. We all know that. Here I am to save the day. Laid out this entire palette that you've now scrapped, and the only thing we've seen from that is Creature, and I haven't seen Creature Commando. So the only thing that is out that you announced from that closet panel thing you did was Creature Commandos. Yeah,
where
we
the hell
get
is
Superman
Waller?
in July. Yeah,
Where's
Waller's
Waller?
not none of this shit on screen currently. Where the fuck is Paradise Lost? They haven't talked about that
Kal-El,
since
no.
that day.
No.
Paradise Lost isn't happening, and Lanterns got their pilot. So there's two Lanterns and Creature Commandos.
Well, you got Viola Davis talking about she wants to join the MCU, so I don't know if Waller is just fucked or
Oh my god. Oh my goodness. And it wasn't like the stuff he was announcing was like this world-ending projects, these huge IPs, Booster Gold, The Authority, Swamp Thing, and even that, even those, we can't get to the finish line. We can't. I guess we're not even working on them currently. Maybe Swamp Thing is off down in the distance. You know, Brave and the Bold is where it's at. Paradise Lost haven't even talked about it. Waller haven't talked about it. We got
But
Clayface.
Clayface is on its way.
Clayface is on his way, baby. Don't y'all forget about Clayface.
He really is blowing
Yeah.
it. Like,
jeez, don't. Oh yeah, don't forget. Like Brother Stark said, don't forget Sergeant Rock. That's on its way too.
Rock. I'm going to take the most popular TV show that HBO has made for a comic book character in years. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take that character and I'm going to make him some fuck ass comic book character that I liked when I was getting beat up in middle school. That's what I'm going to do because I can. Just because I can. Clayface ain't about to fucking work. Don't do that. Not even with Daniel Radcliffe.
No.
Not even with Harry Potter himself.
Like I said, when they started talking about Clayface, you, James Gunn, at your fingertips have gods that you could use. But you decided, let me reach all the way back to letter Z and pull Clayface and Sergeant Rock and some more, like Creature Commandos, and we're gonna rock this thing out.
He don't want no parts of Martian Manhunter. He don't want no parts of Cyborg. He don't want no parts of. I mean, you're right. There are a lot of interesting Zatanna, Vixen. There are plenty of characters that he could be doing. Icon. Don't even talk about the Dakotaverse.
Dr. Fate.
It's Dr. Fate. Give him a run back. Call Pierce Brosnan. You know, there's so much stuff that we could be doing right now other than these personal projects. And it's like, man, you didn't get this job so that you can tell everybody how niche your comic book tastes are. Like, we want to see the stuff.
Yeah. That shows you with Peacemaker season 2 and 1. Season 2 of Peacemaker will continue in his new universe. So what he desires for is crazy, and it's not crazy, but it's a particular niche. Yeah. Why are you hating on DC?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We started with Lanterns. We started with the Batman 2, how it's being delayed, and no one's saying exactly what's going on with Matt Reeves. But from what it sounds like, there's a reasonable excuse for why the Batman 2 was in the situation it's in. I'm giving them lots of grace. And the more I talk to these two, the less grace I'm starting to have for them. $40 million budget. Is that for Clayface? Of course they can make it work. Yeah, a $40 million budget with Thunderbolts would have made it a super successful movie. But there's other things I'd rather see. And if you know you're only going to get 2 DC movies a year and one of them is going to Clayface, no. Give me Supergirl, good. Superman, give me Batman now. Give me The Flash and give me Aquaman. We got to wait on those? Why? Okay. Forget it. Give me Static, give me other things. Clayface is going to be dope.
That's right.
It could be.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. I'll tell you how big of my Star Wars fandom is just blah. I didn't know Celebration started today. No clue.
Yeah, but it's like
Wouldn't
the
have known unless these
pre-celebration.
notifications.
I was about to say, any announcements? Anything pop out?
Yeah, there's notifications rolling in. They're
Uh-oh.
talking about they
Daisy
announced
Ridley
Ryan
there?
Johnson's. It's probably not today.
Shut
They
up.
announced
Wait.
Ryan Johnson
Wait.
what?
What did you Ryan
Or not,
Johnson?
no, I'm sorry, not. I didn't mean Ryan Johnson. I meant Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling. I wouldn't have said Ryan Johnson. That damn calm.
Don't play with me like that, Darius.
Ryan Gosling and Sean Levy's film coming out in 2027 called Starfighter. We got a look from Mando and Grogu. Looks like Mando standing next to Zeb.
Okay.
Grogu hanging out with fucking Babu Frick. Yeah, and then that Sean Levy film is called Starfighter. That looks like what they've unveiled today.
So did
Wait,
we win?
Pedro Pascal and Sigourney Weaver. I knew Sigourney was in this Mando Grogu movie. Oh yeah, Pedro's fucking Mando. I forget that shit because he's in the fucking. I forget that shit. I was like, why the fuck is Pedro there? But yeah,
that's why he was
Mando.
crying about being behind that mask. He's like, everyone's gonna forget about me, man. Everybody's gonna forget.
Yeah,
that this
because
is
I
Pedro
forgot he's
Pascal.
even Mando. Yeah, they're doing the nostalgia grab with Zeb.
Yeah, but the Babu Frick thing is taking the most successful sequel era character that they had, but next to Grogu, and seeing if that'll get like interest. Like, you can't hate on this. Remember him? Remember he's from the sequel era, so you'll like him, right? That's such a weak move.
For sure. Does this mean we won?
Star Wars Starfighter will release during the 50th anniversary week of A New Hope. Do we win with?
I didn't hear shit about Rey. Where are Rey movies at?
It is it. So my understanding, I didn't know. Chill, because I did as a Star Wars fan, I didn't even know Celebration started this weekend. Chill, you said today is pre-celebration, correct?
It's because the celebration is the weekend.
All right, so they're gonna hold
Thursday
their big
night
guns for the last day.
Okay, all right. Well,
Yeah,
so
Sunday,
far we win.
Sunday,
Right? We winning.
Sunday. I promise you, she's coming out. She's coming out Sunday, or she's coming out
You can bet me
Saturday.
$1
Or
right now on the
they're gonna
pod.
roll her out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay, bet me $1 on the pot. So if it don't happen, you can cash app it to me right here on the
Friday is gonna be the animation day. Saturday will be when they do the films like that. They did 2 years back in London.
Bet.
Oh, you don't think that you don't think Daisy Ridley is in Japan right fucking now?
I think we would know. I think it would leak.
I'm telling you.
But I could be wrong.
She's like Obi-Wan.
Here's the thing, though. You really need to be rooting for my side, because if we don't, that means the Civil War that's happening in Lucasfilm has drawn out enough to where they may damper out some of Kathleen's momentum with some of this bullshit she's trying to put out into the pipeline. If Daisy really comes out, that means she's winning. That means some of this stuff is going to make it to production, and we're going to have to suffer more. Yeah. So you better hope we don't see Daisy. You better hope she ain't nowhere near Japan. Nowhere around there.
I want what you want. I don't want her anywhere near Star Wars. I don't want her spelling Star Wars, thinking about Star Wars. Don't send her coloring books about nothing to do with. I don't want her near Star Wars. But the unfortunate reality is they want her near Star Wars. Lucasfilm wants her. And,
no, not all Lucasfilm. Just the Kathleen acolytes want her around. Again, we ain't heard nothing since she came out.
But who are the Kathleen acolytes, though?
I don't know. Whoever in there is fighting with her. Though? Whoever's helping her keep her grip on power.
How many of the acolytes are there?
Ooh, there's the power of 2. So there's got to be 2. And then them 2 plus Kennedy makes the power of many.
The power of many.
Is there majority of Kathleen Kennedy acolytes working at Lucasfilm? It's been 12 years since she's been in charge. So everyone she's going to hire, going to be grateful that they hired her, or she hired them.
Somewhat. I mean, she hired Dave Filoni. She hired Jon Favreau.
Filoni was already part of it.
Before Kathleen Kennedy?
Yeah.
Not after the Disney acquisition.
He was there. He was there. Wait, what do you mean?
So he was still working for
Filoni
Disney.
was there during
Clone Wars.
Is that when he was doing Clone Wars? Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. When he was doing Clone Wars.
Well, Filoni was also there during
was he
the
just a
2D Clone
holdover from the
Wars.
sale? Yeah, was he just a holdover from the sale or what?
Yeah, Pablo Hidalgo was also with them before the Disney acquisition. And I
so
think
in between Clone Wars and Ahsoka, was he just on ice or what was that?
Rebels. Remember he did Rebels?
Yeah, but okay. Oh, yeah, you're right. That was on Disney. Okay, gotcha. So she didn't hire him. So then, yeah, no, Filoni should be one of the last Resistance. She did hire Favreau though.
But
I think there's people that
but Filoni is a company guy. He agrees with everything that she's, he looked at what's her name? Leslie Headland literally told him here's our plans with Plagueis, and he said, okay.
That's right.
And they did
but
it.
I 100%, and I'm confused as to why he allowed that. Also, there's a theory that he actually ended up did hold a lot back from what Leslie actually wanted to do. It continues to surprise me that that's what made it to the final cut. Like if y'all cut anything from this show and that's what made it out onto the platform, I can only imagine what the original version looked like.
I take that position because he wasn't there greenlighting it. It was so okay, like in 2020 during that Investors Day, the same day that Kevin Feige said we will not recast T'Challa. So that's the first we heard of it. Leslie Headland's attached to it, and Dave Filoni only gets his big promotion to being the chief content creative officer 3 years later. So he can only
I can't give
work
him
with
that
what
slack.
you've created. And
can't.
how is he going to go to her and say everything you just did is against Star Wars, is antithetical to our brand, and we will have to scrap it, and we can't even produce the show.
Even if
I'm not saying that he needs to
attitude.
go. I'm not saying he needs to go scold her and say everything that you just did, but as a person that has been working with George since the 2D the 2D Clone Wars that premiered in 2005, you know better than anyone. I mean, people call you George. You know how this shit is supposed to go. People within the fandom say he's the closest thing we've got to George. He knows this shit inside and out. Better example, you want to see how deeply Filoni knows this shit. Go to the first season of The Mandalorian when all the directors did that sit down at the round table and they were all talking about their different episodes. But I want you to listen to Dave talk about how episode 1 all the way till episode 6, what it really means, how it's supposed to impact the viewer, or how it impacted him as a child as the viewer, and how that motivated him. Filoni's a different type of thought when he's talking about Star Wars. It's not just the cut and dry Star Wars that Kathleen Kennedy is giving, or that Leslie Headland is giving, or that Tony Gilroy is giving. He knows what the fuck he's talking about. So I'm not saying scold her, but this is a character that we as fans that have been here since day one have been waiting to see. You're talking about Darth Plagueis, the guy who trained Palpatine, and we see him like some creepy fucking pedophile peering from behind the wall, watching the whatever the fucking Sith's name was in Acolyte. Like, no. So I'm not saying scold her, but sit her down and say, Leslie, that would probably be great. But let me explain to you why we don't want to use Plagueis in this, why this is not where we want Plagueis to pop up, and especially the way that you're using him. So no, you have a responsibility because you know the shit. You're Dave's right, you're George's right hand at one point in time. So no, you don't just sit here and say, oh yeah, do whatever you want to do and let's just fuck up Star Wars, because that's what's happening. No.
So you say what? What do you say to the Acolyte script when it comes in? Everything here in episode 1 is wrong, and you reduce it to what, a 3-minute episode?
No, you don't have to go through there and actually, yeah, you can treat it like a when you would get a test back or whatever, and you would have misspelled words, your teacher would go through with a red whatever blue pen and mark that shit out. Nope. You didn't indent, you didn't use the heading.
Kathy,
where's your this, where's your that?
Kathy, Dave hates women. Look, he wrote all of this. I bet he never did this for any of the men's projects, did he? Right, Kathy?
That's what I was going to say. Even if he takes that hard of a stance, like, nah, we're not doing this bullshit, you don't know what you're doing. The minute it gets to it gets too critiquey. Headlands going up to her bank, aka Kathleen Kennedy, the woman that gave her $300 million to make that goddamn show. And I'm like, hey, Dave's being mean to me. And as a gay woman in Hollywood, I feel like I should have my creative space to destroy Star Wars in peace. And then, that's how all that would have went. I think he's in a very precarious
even
position.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just think he's in a weird spot because. Go ahead, finish.
No, I think like Chill said, I'm coming in. I think delayed on y'all's end. So go ahead.
He's in a weird spot because he is in a situation where he has a little bit of power, and he wants to be able to wield that to make his stuff good. Remember, he's got some skin in the game now, right? He's got Ahsoka in there, and he's kind of building on that arc. He's got Thrawn and Blue Guy. He's got an animated series coming out right now. Cad Bane and all those characters. So like he's still got threads that he wants to see grow. If he gets the axe or he gets put in the box by Kathleen Kennedy, then none of that's possible anymore. He can't go back to that well and do what he actually wants to do. I think he's protecting the little bit of freedom that he actually has by not going head to head with Kathleen Kennedy. Jon Favreau, on the other hand, is just like, look, I'm gonna leave. Like if we can't do this right, I'm gonna finish out my obligations and then I'm gonna take my ball and go home.
As he should. You know what we didn't talk about
Yeah.
Star Wars? Go ahead, Darius.
Well, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, I think really one of the big things for me and probably some other Star Wars fans, there's just so much now that I used to want them to do, because even when you were talking about how Dave was saying, well, how Leslie would be like, well, look, Dave hates women, take it all the way up to Kathleen. I mean, then what do we say about the Obi-Wan Kenobi show? What do we say about the Obi-Wan Kenobi show? Because Deborah, who was it? Deborah Chow, I forget her name. I believe she did it, and she's done she did a Mandalorian. I think she did something with the Mandalorian. We praised her for what she did with the Mandalorian. Everybody was like, "Oh, Deborah Chow's doing Obi-Wan. Yes, we gotta." And look, it's a female director, and no one's being sexist. We're all like, "Yay!" because we loved what she did. Then she came in and she fucked Obi-Wan up. You fucked up a legacy character. That show is dog shit. So where are we at in the Star Wars world where we don't even, well, I don't want to say I don't even want you to touch legacy characters because you're going to mess it up. It's like, I don't want an Obi-Wan show. Everybody's like, Luke, bring Luke. They've already fucked Luke. You want him to bring him back and fuck him some more? No, like leave him alone. Leave him wherever the fuck he is. Leave him alone. So it's like, I don't know. This, for me, I'm very curious to what the rest of celebrations are going to look like this weekend. But for me, the hole they're in is so deep.
I think Obi-Wan was one of those holdovers, though. I think that was a COVID project. So I don't know if Dave had his presidency spot in, or if he even had.
For that though, you don't really even need Dave. It's Obi-Wan. How do you fuck up a guy who we were told has been in the desert watching Luke and he never left? How do you fuck that up?
Never left. And then on top of that, you got this whole side-by-side story with him and Leia that she never remembers. Like, okay, if you get her when she's like 2 or 3 years old, maybe that's something you can suppress. She's walking, talking.
It's all been said and done. It's all been said and done. Let's talk about something we haven't talked about yet, which is the grapes situation that I heard Josh of Denim Nerd say that there's going to be a moment in Andor where the woman, I think her name is Bix, she's going to say, you know what I mean? Like the worst thing a man can do to a woman, you did that to me. That's going to be said in a Star Wars. And my brain went, that's not Star Wars. And then I also thought about, Darius, what was the name of the ship that Boba Fett flies that they can't name anymore? There was a word for it.
The Slave One.
And they can't say Slave One, but you can talk about something else, which is very gruesome. Also, the selective sensitivity is so bizarre to me. I don't know why they would think that it's okay to go with one, but then they'll like they'll retcon and change the Slave One situation.
Because girl boss, bro. Girl boss.
I know that's the message though, because you're signaling that act is villainous, and they want to like let the audience know that. So maybe all the young men growing up watching this will go, "Oh, you're not supposed to do that thing. That's a bad thing." All right, good, got it. Not that you need that in your TV show, but I think that's what they're thinking about. They're thinking that they are.
My bad, Roberta. I apologize.
They think that by featuring this negative trait and showing you that it's a bad thing, they're teaching the audience. And still, I say no. I say you avoid it like the plague. I can't get with it.
Yeah, I don't get this in the least bit. I don't even understand why you would sully the momentum that Andor seems to have right now for no reason. Like, again, just know one of those properties that's silently generating traffic that people are enjoying. It's got some genuine interest. So let's just make it controversial by putting something that has never existed in any Star Wars project prior to this, and just throw it on the wall and see what happens. I think this is the result of the kind of the hyper focus on centering real life, like tangible female issues in a fantasy realm that was never built or equipped to handle that subject matter. And so just to kind of like willy-nilly drop it in on Andor season 2 and it having a ripple effect now across Star Wars. Now, that woman is not the only one that's been essayed in Star Wars now. It can't be. Now that you've opened up that door, she can't be the only one. We know that there are pirates and reavers and all type of poor characters, poor acting characters in Star Wars. So now, on top of robbing and killing and stealing, which are all, you can flatten that out for children, but now we're adding sexual violence to that. Now now we're kind of mixing in real world violence with the guys with lightsabers, and I'm not really down for it. Who's it serve? Who are you helping by doing it?
I'm saying the same thing. I'm saying the same things. Celebration this year can only be successful if it's capped with Kathleen Kennedy saying, "I'm leaving." They'll do it on the final day. Japan, we love you. Japan is a nice, well-mannered audience. They'll all clap. The Japanese aren't going to be photographing any of the surprise actors at the airport. They're nice and polite, so we'll be surprised on stage. It'll be a successful Star Wars celebration if we can get an Andor trailer, an Ahsoka trailer. They had announced a new TV show. Maybe a video game is 1 year out from coming out, and Kathy Kennedy retires.
Well, that last part they're not going to say. I feel like it's not going to be announced until the day she's walking out of the building. Like, she probably had all of her friends that she has in the trades are going to block that information to the day that she's being escorted off the premises.
You think she gets a security escort out the building?
If she won't leave, hey,
they
better get her big back behind up out of that office. And you better do it quickly, because if she learns anything from Bob Iger, she's just going to stalk her replacement until she decides, nope, I'm coming back. And then she's going to Game of Thrones style axe him out of there, or her. And then we'll be doing this song and dance all over again.
Hey, something's happening in this live chat, okay? It's crazy. Liam says that he's seeing Sinners tomorrow night. I'm so excited to watch it again. Vontae says that he just got back from seeing Sinners 9 out of 10. It's not a horror movie, though. There's like Sinners enthusiasm in here like we haven't had. Would you ever remember that when everyone's telling us about this movie that they've seen and it's the Thursday screenings? Like, we don't have that.
Here on Pantheon? No.
There hasn't been we started Pantheon in a tough time for Marvel. So of course we haven't had it for Marvel. There's nothing for DC, and there hasn't been anything else really.
Has been pretty dry.
Jumping. Actually,
I think that. On Deadpool Day, we took that day off and we just did a Friday stream instead. So it wouldn't have happened. But of course that would have happened then. Okay.
I forget.
I'm trying to big up this Sinners thing, but it's really just because we
good. We got some good positive vibe. I think the main worry was Sinners.
I saw it.
Did you see it already?
I've seen it.
I think the main issue they're going to have is just how much it costs to make it. If they can get the budget, I think saying that it's going to make more than Nope or Get Out is lofty, but if it does, then that's a pretty good watermark for Ryan Coogler on the first swing. So I'm positive on it. I hope it does well. I want to see it for sure.
Sorry, you hear me now? I put out a poll on my account, right? And what I just basically asked everybody was, what's the prediction? 300 million won the poll. 64% of people said that it's going to be a $300 grossing film. That's low to me. I would have voted for like a 400 or 500. People
If
think
it hits $500 million, that's doing exceedingly well.
yes, but that's how it feels. The way that they marketed these guys in every Ryan and Michael B. Jordan are going extra hard. And I found out about Ryan Coogler, a 25-year expiration until it becomes property of his. Like he owns this brand basically. The Sinners was Warner Brothers, but he told them, "Listen, you guys only get to have it for a little bit, or I'm gonna go produce this movie with someone else." He negotiated his way where he will own this thing.
That's nice.
That's which is
That's
why
really
we
good
see him
negotiation.
everywhere. I've never seen Ryan Coogler do this much advertising. He's on the morning shows and the night shows. He's everywhere.
Yep. That's a damn good
I'll
deal.
say this about it. I thought the culture stuff, the stuff obviously like relating to Black culture was great. Haley Seinfeld really shocked the fuck out of me. I've never seen her in that type of acting. I've never seen her play that type of character. So she shocked the fuck out of me in a good way.
Wow.
Very like I've never even been attracted to her like that, but she like she was attractive in this. Like I don't know, like and the rumors about
Watch
all
your back,
the
Gary. Shanique
videos
Moore
of,
might be kicking in your front door any second now.
all the videos of her and Michael B. Jordan on their tour, press tour, people talking about he definitely probably did. Just I don't. He definitely probably did, but I thought it was a good movie. I definitely think it was a good movie. People are going to get mad at me when I say this. I'm not saying it was an 8 or 9 or anything like that. I'll give it a 5 or a 6. It
Out
is
of
not
10?
a horror film. Out of 10.
Oh shit.
Out of
Hold
10.
on,
It is
y'all.
beautiful. The imagery of it is beautiful as far as like the cinematography of it all. It's a gorgeous film. The acting was superb. I saw some people saying they couldn't tell the difference between one Michael B. Jordan and the other Michael B. Jordan, one twin and the other twin. I don't think so. I thought he did a good job of distinguishing that those were two different people, and I could tell that they were two different people. Not and on the horror stuff, I really wish, I mean, if you want to call it a horror film, okay, I really wish they would have leaned so much more into the horror if you were gonna do that, because they're like on scenes where something would happen, it would cut, or something like that, or something. It just and without spoiling anything, I don't want to spoil anything. It was a good movie,
but not a horror movie. That's what I'm continuing to be confused on. How is it a vampire movie, but it's not a horror film?
It's like LeBron on the Heat.
Have
It's
you
positionless
seen
basketball.
Twilight?
Huh?
Have you seen Twilight?
Yes.
I'm not comparing it to Twilight, so before
Hey,
people that
you
love it
better
come
not.
shooting me,
You better not.
I'm not. But what's the scariest thing you can think in Twilight?
The scariest thing?
That lead actress.
The last scene in the last movie where the earth is like opening up and all the vampires, they're like got into this big ass battle. Like the cracks in the middle of the earth, dude gets his head chopped off and then they set him on fire. That's probably the most intense part of the entire series.
Vampire in Brooklyn.
When he killed what was the scariest part in Vampire Brooklyn? I think it was when he killed Homeboy, his little driver. That was the most jump scarish part when he first woke up.
Okay. Well, think if Vampire in Brooklyn is horror like that.
Oh,
that's the horror It's not bad but for me, and I say that because I'm a big, like, I like to be scared. I'm gonna go watch a scary movie. I want to be turning lights on when I go to the bathroom. I want to sleep with the light on that night or something like that. I haven't had
It's
this
not a
movie do
vampire
that to me
movie.
since The Conjuring.
What the? No, I really don't know what to expect. I swear to God, I don't know what to expect from this movie.
Listen, and Tina's probably thinking the same thing. I don't know. I felt like, and again, don't come from me, people that loved it. I felt like it, again, a good movie. It just didn't exactly know what type of movie it wanted to be.
Okay. So this is the last question I'm going to ask on it, because y'all you're getting ready to make me bootleg this shit and not watch it and not support.
No, go see it. Go see it.
I'm going to go see it. I'm going to go see it. In terms of plot, how tight is he on the story?
It's just a lag.
Yeah, it's just a lag. It's just a lag. The story, man, it could have been tighter, but it wasn't bad.
Okay.
I'll tell you, I saw some people saying, because I listened to this radio show in the morning, and they watched it at a special screening, and they were saying the beginning was a slow burn. I loved the beginning way more than when the vampires really started because when the vampires started getting involved, I was thinking, okay, yes, here comes that horror stuff. Here's this, but for me, when the vampires came in, it slowed down. I liked the beginning of the film, where before we got to exactly what was really going on, it was fine for me. I was like, hey, this is good. This is good. The dialogue was great. Again, Haley Steinfeld is a shocking. People were saying, I don't know how she's gonna do an Cajun accent. She does it just fine.
That was
the
first time. Like, that was the first name you named, and I'm like, ain't no way Haley Steinfeld is the standout of the damn film.
I think Haley and Lindo.
Del Rey. Okay.
Yeah, I think they are the standouts. And you know who else was really good? Loki. What's her name? Hunter B-15. She was fucking great. She was great, actually. Yeah, she was great. I think her acting is really good.
She's one of the twins' love interests, I think, right?
Yes. Yeah, so that's what I thought about it. Not bad. Now I will say that first post-credit scene, I'll agree with Liam. That first post-credit scene was really good, and it does set up implications for more to happen with this franchise. I will say I was really upset. I sat to the very last post-credit scene, and that's what it was, because I was ready to go. And when that one happened, I was like, motherfucker. That one felt to me the way when Cap came out and said so.
Did you see the preview for him? The Marlon Wayans, Jordan Peele movie?
I missed all the trailers.
Oh, I can't go to the movies.
Oh, you come late for that too, huh?
I can't go to the movies with you. I ain't doing that. Got to be sit down 15 to 20 before the start time. Need to be in there. I'm gonna see the damn sit down commercials when the lights are still on.
Yeah, I enjoy those things also. I think it's part of the experience of going.
Man. You gotta see the previews.
I never
and that's what they're
them, but I had T'Challa with me today, and I'm not a bad pet owner. He's a good dog. He can sit in the car and be just fine. So he sat in the car, but I had to set him up. I had to get him food, water, and all blanket and all that kind of shit. So yeah, I missed the trailers.
Yeah, man. Before there was YouTube, before they released everything on social media, you used to have to actually go to the movies to see the previews. So I never wanted to miss them.
30 minutes late, movie still ain't start. I'm good. You have a point. You have a point.
That's crazy.
No,
absolutely not.
There's something to that. I have to give that a nod. But
have y'all ever taken outside food into the theater?
You can smuggle it in, but I don't always do it. Like I probably done it.
Well, I'm only asking because I took chicken today, so I was eating my Chick-fil-A while watching Sinners.
So as a former sweeper of the theater auditoriums, It's not poor etiquette unless you shove it underneath the seats. Look, after you done already ate it in the theater, don't nobody give a shit. Throw it in the trash can. Just pick it up, throw it in the can, go on about your business. It's too late for us to do anything about it, or us. It's too late for them to do anything about it anyway. What I absolutely hate is picking up fucking chicken bones from behind a theater seat. What is wrong with you?
We don't sell bones here.
Who raised you?
They sell you on the
You don't sell bones.
experience of going to the movies. We talked last week about Michael B. Jordan saying this is the way that we filmed it and how we intended it for it, and you can watch it at this movie theater, that movie theater. And then this whole week, him going on some of the cinema kind of like snobby type of people's channels, podcasts, and giving that reassurance, like reaffirming, like this is what I'm here for. This is why this movie is such an experience. It's you got to go there. You got to see it in that. That to me is new. I haven't seen this type of like go see the experience since movies like Top Gun Maverick, maybe like Tom Cruise is really trying to promote that, and Avatar, where you got to see it in 3D, like the way James Cameron would always say, this is made for IMAX. You got to see the biggest screen possible, which also inflates the prices. The IMAX love that they're gonna get from this movie is crazy, and I think the only thing that'll make it leave IMAX screens is Thunderbolts. But if Thunderbolts don't, I'm wrong. No, I'm not wrong. I think that they have a lot of premium screens, but the IMAX screens, Thunderbolts will not boot Sinners off of the IMAX screens.
So that's correct. I don't think Sinners will necessarily move Thunderbolts because I don't think Thunderbolts is going to have the motion to be bumping anybody out of anything. But the one thing I do question on the IMAX thing, it is really not the time to be asking people $20 for a movie ticket. It's just not. It's not. And I guess it's beneficial for him right now. It'll probably affect the later weeks of Sinners, week 4, week 5, week 6, because now you are running into Marvel properties. You're running into Mission Impossible, and those tickets aren't going to cost me $20. I can pay a regular $14 ticket, regular $12 ticket, whatever it is in your area. If I'm supposed to see this on the IMAX screen or the luxury theater, whatever the biggest screen is in my area, it's gonna run me a little bit more. And the shit that's going on right now in America, it ain't really the time to be splurging. So the people who are going to see this movie have the means. I think if it's going to meet that 500 million mark that you're shooting for, it's got to get the people who already weren't going to go see it. Like it's got to draw in a much larger crowd.
The corporations, IMAX themselves, they love that Ryan Coogler is filming it. It's $29 for IMAX here. Yeah, that's nuts.
That's crazy.
They're going to be loyal, and they're going to say that we are IMAX. He filmed an IMAX movie. If that's not just a 2 weeks and then, Marvel, you get your turn. The IMAX screens will be playing Sinners, and that stuff's already been contracted. You'll see. You'll go to the movie in 2 weeks. One of us will be right. One of us will be wrong. But, every other screen, 3D, Dolby, all the other ones I can't pronounce, all of those will probably move over to the Thunderbolts because Disney is that powerful. But when it comes to loyalty and IMAX, they got their back. Super chat.
Homeboy, man up. I'm a real get money, ball stand up. You see it with the kid. You know what it is.
Michael Nemo with the $5 super chat. He says, Darius, I felt the same way about Dusk Till Dawn. Tarantino's half slow and awesome. Rodriguez is half lame AF.
So I said so. I'm so glad you brought up this movie. When I saw the first footage of Sinners, I was like, yo, this feels like From Dusk Till Dawn. It feels like everything's shot in the day, right? And then the crazy thing about From Dusk Till Dawn, it was like, it didn't start off. It kind of sounds like how y'all are explaining this. It really didn't start off as a horror film. It was From Dusk Till Dawn was a heist film. It started off as a crime thriller. They robbed that family for their RV, made them drive them all around, blah, blah, blah. Skip, we come up on this bar where we're supposed to be meeting this guy, and then vampires. Boom, out of nowhere, out of clear fucking sky, vampires. So if that's what we're in for with Sinners, I find that to be a little bit more palatable because I really do like From Dusk Till Dawn. It's one of the only movies where Quentin Tarantino doesn't say nigger incessantly. So, but
I think if oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, bro.
I think if Ryan is really wanting to make this a whole franchise thing and really lean, I don't know how much he's wanting to lean into the horror. If he wants this to really be, considered a horror movie, I mean, you can title it horror, but if he would be willing to do what Lucas did, Empire is not arguably Empire is the best Star Wars film. George didn't direct Empire. He helped write Empire, but he didn't direct it. I'm saying he should still direct it because I think Ryan Coogler is a brilliant director, especially from what I just seen with this. I said the whole time I was watching it, especially with the opening, I was like, Ryan wrote this because like the opening dialogue and stuff, there's some good shit in there. I'm like, this is good. Ryan wrote it. And I remember the video we watched where he's talking about the lenses, and I was paying attention to that shit because of the video we watched, and I was like, this is good. This is really good. But I wonder if he would be willing to have somebody help him on the horror part. Like if he would be willing to have a co-writer or somebody that can really bring that horror. Because I think if you really would have if I would have jumped a couple times or been like, oh shit, I just didn't have that. I didn't have that. The only oh shit moment they released. They released it in a clip before the movie came out.
Wow.
And we've seen it. For me, that was my only I was like, saw that already. But I still like the
you
film.
gotta avoid the trailers, baby. I haven't been watching anything Sinners, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four. I know I'm gonna see these movies, so I'm just gonna not enjoy the trailers. Why?
Oh, you didn't see the Fantastic Four trailer today?
Yeah, stay away from it. I guess I'll see it today right now, but I don't know.
I thought that was pretty decent.
Mm-hmm. Were you finished saying what you were gonna say before I so rudely cut you off?
Oh no, yeah. I'm done. I just need. I like I said, everybody should still go see it. Still go see it. I personally think, and I think a 5 is low. I'll get a 6 or 7 out of 10 for me. It's good. It's not scary like I wanted, but it's good. Again, Haley Steinfeld. God, wow. I've never thought about her. I looked at her that way, but wow.
Hey man, lock your doors. Shamik don't play about that. He don't play.
My cousin Chill Spot sitting here. He said, "Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars film. Nobody left Cloud City unscathed."
Shout out to the Emperor Strikes Back.
The best one. The one where George got out the way.
Well, let's not say that like that. That's just the best thing for Star Wars because clearly
he was pretty out of the way for 7, 8, and 9.
It's not. But the things that George was wanting to do with Empire before they came in and said, "Hey, let us. You're still behind the camera, but let us help." I love when George does it, but when George does it, he likes to put extra. Like he wants to go back and redo Jabba 7 times and redo the conversation between him and Han and add banthas in the back and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, yeah, George is cool.
The man
bro.
is a genius. Let him cook. Let him cook is what they should have did. But
Jedi is the best.
Return is the best. Who? No, man, put them in timeout. Put them in timeout.
He said, in my opinion, he said,
put him in timeout.
Yeah,
for his opinion.
Close the doors. Close the
I
doors.
said close the doors. He ain't going nowhere but to the restaurant.
Haley was looking good. Dr. Umar No, Umar would support. Umar would ask you like, hey, is there anything in your lineage? And unlike Marcus and Josh from Back of the Bus,
he absolutely would not. Umar would be like, all due respect, my Snow Bunny Queen, I cannot touch your hand. And
you can't touch his hand?
I cannot get too close. I cannot get too close, and I cannot touch your hand. I cannot get too close, and I cannot touch your hand.
Yo, you watch him just as much as I watch him.
Literally how you go.
That man. Oh, David Oyelowo had like an interview, and Charlemagne said, you should play a historical figure. It should be Umar Johnson. And he's like, okay, yeah, I'll look into it. And then I think Lauren on the side was like, he's playing with you. Don't look it up.
No, he also had something to say
That's
about
what
why British actors are playing American historical figures. And he gave a very interesting take. I don't know if we had time for it, but he was basically he just said it's a scarcity mindset is what he attributed to it. It's not really a question that we ask about white actors when they, cross the pond to play other actors, which is fair on its face. But then you add to the fact that those projects are so much more plentiful. The connections, the exchange is so much more fruitful. Not so much in black projects. Definitely not so much in black projects the opposite way. How many times you seen a black Brit play or a black American play a black Brit or a black African or black people anywhere else in the world? I can tell you it's probably about 3 because it's all 3 that he named in the interview. He was like, "Oh, no one says when Morgan Freeman plays Nelson Mandela. Nobody said anything when
Chadwick Boseman
was Black Panther. Nobody said anything when Forrest Whitaker was playing the last King of Scotland." I was like, "You went through all 3. That's it."
Yeah, where's the 4th example?
If they would have asked him for one more, it'd have been over. It'd have been it. But he had an interesting take. I suggest you go back and watch that interview. I didn't necessarily agree, but it was an opinion for sure.
Well, I don't agree with the take that you got to be an American to play an American, British to play a British.
Well, the point was made is that the complaints about it are coming from a lack of opportunity, which is strange for him to say, considering there is a gigantic lack of opportunity for American actors in your film market as opposed to what it is here in the States. So if it was a little bit more even, I think it could be swept under the rug a bit more,
That's not where I'm going.
One way.
Where I see it is, if you're in America or if you're in the United Kingdom, you are a descendant of that continent. You are of the same people. The little detour in the taxes that you pay and the person that you vote for aren't the differentiating factor that possibly.
For you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I see it this way. It's not the same that you see it. You guys see it, or you guys. Anyone who would have that opinion would deem that, what Raven Simone said, like, how long do I got to be here until I can just be an American type thing? Like, yeah, I think that's the conversation that's being had.
Fantastic Four. Let's move on. So the Fantastic Four Marvel dropped a trailer for the Fantastic Four today, and on time. For me personally, because I was sitting thinking, I thought to myself last week, I thought to myself Monday, what are we doing? Where's the trailer? Drop the trailer. I thought to myself after Superman dropped that 5-minute clip, where's the trailer? But I'm glad they dropped the trailer. For me, I've been excited for the Fantastic Four. I know a lot of people are not. I've been excited for the Fantastic Four. I still remain excited for the Fantastic Four. That first trailer did not really move the needle for me. This one, I'm not going to say it really still did. But I think there's a lot going on in this film that just not in the trailers, not playing to viewers and things like that, obviously from other stuff too that we know. But it's just, I liked it. I like what was shown with the team, with the family. I liked what was shown. I like what was not shown of Galactus. I like that we have not heard him. We have not seen his voice. I don't want to hear him. I don't want to see his voice. I don't want to see anything like that until I sit down in the theater for Galactus. And I didn't think that Shalabal looked bad. My only nitpick, and I didn't want to do this for the trailer with the CGI for her, is that I feel like the 2007 Silver Surfer CGI looked so much better than what they showed for her. And I think for her, it's just like the lack of definition. Maybe there's not a lot of lines that she
looks like a Terminator.
So I don't know. Yeah.
But looks like a second-gen Terminator.
I like the trailer. And I'm ready for it. Yeah. She looked like, yeah.
I thought this trailer was pretty good. I thought it. At least they are trying to manufacture stakes where there aren't actually any. All right, like if you can read in between the big old reveal that they had 2 weeks ago and what we're seeing in the trailer, we know that at very least, now we don't give a shit about any of these other 60 style people that are running around here, but the people that matter, they're going to live. It's going to be okay. They're going to survive somehow. We don't even know their universe. Is unfamiliar to us. We're not going to familiarize them one movie because we're going to be spending too much time dealing with the main thing, which is the family. So you're just telling us that that movie doesn't matter. But they are trying to manufacture the stakes in the marketing that they're giving specifically for Fantastic Four. And I think for a general audience, it's going to work incredibly well. Where they're going to have a problem, I feel like, is basically what they've been running into with everything they've been marketing well these days. The same thing they're going to run into with Thunderbolts, the same thing they run into with Daredevil is, that there's a bit of subverting expectations in each project with Marvel now. It's come kind of part of the process. There's something that you expect to happen that they're probably going to pull back or not go all the way through on. And so if that's going to happen, plus the reputation hit that they've had from the last 3 or 4 projects, I just don't know what they could do to kind of jumpstart this project to where it maybe should be, but just has too many negative factors going for it. The general reputation of the studio, their unwillingness to go full head on into narratives and use as many characters as possible. I don't know if the audience has hit fatigue with Pedro Pascal yet. I have. I'm already there. Like watching this and then turning around and watching Last of Us on Sunday. It's getting old, dog. Like, god damn, cast somebody else. It's got a lot of things going against it. Plus, I didn't really like Shia LaBeouf. I didn't like it when she was cast. I didn't like when I saw she looks like a Terminator. It is very undefined. The 2004 version looks better, not just because it's a man, but because of the definition, because of the way it looks. It just looks like a silver glob with tits. So,
yeah,
good trailer.
Yeah,
Don't know if it's gonna be a good movie.
they didn't bother to give her the long. I mean, I was, and again, I was trying not to nitpick when I was watching it, but I kept rewinding to see her, and they didn't. I wish they would have given her the long hair like she has in comic. Like if you're gonna do her, and I'm not trying to make this sound sexist, but make her hot, make her look like like the comic version of her. Because like you said,
They would have
it's
had
just
to
a
cast a woman who
silver
looks like
blob.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can still go in with this because that's not Julia Gardner. That's her likeness in the face. But you can go in and do whatever, make the definition or whatever you need to do to make her look like she's a threat. Because I don't know. It didn't take me out. It's just I was like, oh, okay, that's what she looks like.
Yeah, honestly, she just pulled up and said y'all fucked and then bounced. So like she was like one of the least noticeable parts of the trailer to me. It was just everything else that was going on, right? They're really setting the stage for some sort of epic showdown battle for the fate of the world. And so that does kind of that transfers very well to a general audience. Everybody can feel that right really fast, right away. You don't have to spend a whole lot of time making people invest in the characters. If you immediately introduce us into a doomsday scenario, that's going to do most of the work for you. How committed are they, though? How committed are they to the story? We still haven't seen them do the Marvel thing yet. So we're just going to keep waiting, I guess.
And my problem with the Silver Surfer isn't the
I think they're going-
graphics or anything. It is that's not Nora and Rad. It's that you could have had a lot of attention and a lot of happy fans who know that character, who he's not just a minor character. He's pretty significant. He has his own comic books, and you can have the Silver Surfer, but instead you're doing someone who's not the Silver Surfer. Substitute version. It's just pointless. It's unneeded. It's really like them volunteering for scrutiny when this is a time they can't do that. But if they thought that they were okay, they wouldn't have greenlit Thunderbolts. They're just gonna like sit in it. I think coming up after this, Avengers and like everything in 2026, 27, they got Spider-Man. They'll have enough good projects, things that people are actually interested in watching. Where the next things that they produce maybe will be a little bit more willing to give Thunderbolts or something like Thunderbolts a chance.
You know, Rob over at Comics Explained made a pretty good point that I agreed with some of it. He had said that, you know, as he's like, for those of us that, you know, grew up on the comics or are deep into the comics, and we know these stories, we know how these stories end, we know what characters are supposed to be involved in these stories, you know, and then when we see it on screen, we're like, oh, well, that's not how it happened in the comics, or that's not, you know, that's da, da, da. He said one thing that I've had to start doing is just realize that this is not comic, and they're not going to do, you know, the things that we may want them to do. He was like, you know, he's like, do I know Norrin Rad? Do I want Norrin Rad? Yes. He was like, but am I mad that they're doing Shalabal? He's like, no, because it's like, I know Norrin Rad's story. He's like, I know how, he's like, eventually he'll come to, and that's why I say I agree with half of it. Cause like, yeah, I get that. I know the story, but at the same time, I still would like to see that story played out on screen in the way that we know it and love it, and not twisted to whatever the studio wants to do. But I also think, to on what Marcus was saying, I think they're going to not just be able to get the audience with the whole, oh, the end of the world, here comes the four, typical superhero themed plot. I think also, if the film does what some of the leaks and things are saying it's going to do, then word of mouth as well, because what Raymond's saying, and this is not a spoiler or anything like that, I just think that the whole this is not their universe, I don't know that that's true, or that they're not from our universe. Sorry, the real universe. I don't know that that's true, and I think that there's a lot going on within this film that is going to be like, holy shit, oh wow, oh, that is how they're doing that. And again, that's just from without
if
spoiling
they've
it,
got
going
some
into
if
from
they've got
leaks.
some stronger plot points to kind of meld this together. I mean, if they're in our universe, there's going to be a part of suspending your disbelief that has to come along with that, because in what scenario other than maybe the quantum realm, which I felt like
Not
we
like
already had
that.
an opportunity.
They
Not
have
like that. Okay.
no, not like that. It would be more so like they've been trapped, trying to get back.
Okay. So, I mean, sure, it would just be still more convenient plot that now is the time, you know, after Thanos and after the Chitauri in New York and after Ultron, you know, it just would be very convenient. But again, I'll suspend my disbelief. They got to do it though. They got to commit, and they've got to back that up with something real. You had to have had other superhero connections before you had before you went into your jail or wherever the hell you were at, right? Like, I think, wasn't there a joke about them charting in the 60s or some shit like that? Was that in this
Yeah,
project?
the Multiverse of Madness.
The Multiverse of Madness. That's what. Okay. Yeah. I could see it. I don't want it to be that though. Like, write something, man. Write something. Someone in that damn company put a pen to paper and come up with something creative. Like, let's just stop excusing lazy stuff. Like, I hear your friend, and I get where he's coming from. This is not the comics, and we can't expect a 1-to-1. But when we've been in the dumps as much as we have been, and the numbers have bared out what people think of their version of the canon, at some point, man. God,
At some point, you would think.
come
It's
on.
been 4 phases of 5, and now we're in 6.
Now we're in 6, and it's still struggling. Y'all keep basically we just living on promises. They doing the Elon Musk thing. They keep promising that they'll crack autonomous driving. First it was 10 years, then it was another 5, then it'll be 2020, then it's 2026, then it's whenever. You know, we'll just keep kicking that can down the road. That's what I feel like with the Marvel projects. Oh, well, Daredevil was what it was, but you just wait on Thunderbolts. It's the best film they've made in years. And then after Thunderbolts underperforms, it's like, oh, well, hey, at least we got Fantastic Four, right? Whew. And then if Fantastic Four does what Fantastic Four movies have done historically, when am I Ironheart?
That's what I completely agree with you there, but I don't even think that they're in that spot. I think Marvel puts on a good face. Obviously, don't know. I'm not at Marvel, but I think they are panicking behind the scenes. We know that Thunderbolts is currently tracking lower in its opening weekend than Brave New World. So if Thunderbolts doesn't do what they need or want Thunderbolts to do, then that is going to have a negative effect on the Fantastic Four. Now, again, if the word of mouth or whatever comes out with the Fantastic Four, I mean, you got SDCC, I believe, before the Fantastic Four, so maybe you could do something even with that to hype up some weekend, drum up some hype. So I with that, I don't know, but then like you said, you've got if it does. And knowing that Thunderbolts is going to do what it does, and if that has a negative effect on Fantastic Four, what do you do? Because Avengers is the only thing that's next outside of the TV shows. And I know some people said when I said this on Monday that they are going to be tuning into Ironheart in June and Eyes of Wakanda, and some people might be watching Eyes of Wakanda in August and things like that. But I'm gonna be honest with you, for me personally, I fell, and I'm not saying this because I was just tired, that I shouldn't have put on the Daredevil finale tired. I fell asleep on it. So I have to go back and rewatch it. But I am in no rush to go back and rewatch it. I am in no rush to sit down and snuggle up and watch the Daredevil finale. Just like in June, I can't confidently tell you, unless there is absolutely nothing going on in my summer June day, that I'm going to be watching Ironheart week to week. I don't care. And I think that's where a lot of the audience is. I'm talking casuals too. Casuals are just at that point where it's like, first of all, none of them even knew that a female Silver Surfer was in it. The casuals in the comments on Instagram were like, who is that? Why is she a girl? The people were like, why is that a girl? And so I'm like, hey, bro. It's a waiting game at this point. It's just waiting to see.
Johnny Washington, I think if they go the route of their universe got destroyed, they came over here during an incursion, something like that, sure. That would be original. That is fairly creative. If it's oh no, they really were part of Earth 616 all along, but they just, they were tucked away in a corner and couldn't make it out until right now. Horseshit. Horse caca.
199999. You called it 616 for some reason, and I don't know why you did that.
Yeah, my bad. Shout out to Iman Vellani.
Super chat.
I think they could.
Michael Nemo, $2. He says, put up a poll. If you could only see one, would it be the Fantastic Four or would it be Superman? Ooh. That's up on my channel right now. I asked, winning the poll is Superman. I'll close it in a second, okay?
That's a good question.
I'll close it in a minute.
Or Superman. I'm a Superman hater, by the way. So just, take that into account with my answer. But fudge. Would I rather see? Can I move this Fantastic Four movie into another era of the MCU? Like, can I put it in the middle?
Movie. It's the one that they've got right now, and the hype that you have right now. One ticket, same day. Which one do you go to first? You're with the same guest. It's not I want my kids, I'm with my wife. No, you're going to a movie. Who are you gonna see? What are you gonna see?
Fantastic Four.
Really?
Or I think so.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not going to see either one of them before I see Jurassic Park, so it's kind of hard to decide. Yeah, Jurassic Park. No, that's not even an option. Fantastic Four. Final answer.
Darius, Superman, right?
Man, that's tough. That is tough. I don't know. Fantastic Four.
We forgot about Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch is going to eat Thunderbolts' lunch. It's probably going to eat some of Fantastic Four's lunch. End of June.
Lilo and Stitch comes
They're
out
not
3
even
weeks
gonna
after.
have. I'm sorry. They're not gonna have a lunch. There's gonna be no lunch. No one's. Thunderbolts is. Thunderbolts is really going to underperform. Really, like it's going to underperform.
People are going to talk about Michael B. Jordan's new movie Sinners, and they're going to talk about how successful it was and how it's the one you can't miss, and that's going to eat into some of Thunderbolts. The other part that eats into Thunderbolts is Lilo and Stitch and A Day of Reckoning, Mission Impossible.
Damn, Ricardo, you think it's going to flop?
That's what I think. The last Thursday we talked about Thunderbolts. I said that. Everybody's like, "Oh, Thunderbolts May 2nd." I'm Lilo and Stitch May 23rd. That's
I'm
my
going to
most
go see Lilo
anticipated
and
deal
Stitch.
for May. I'm trying to see Lilo and Stitch. That looks really good.
Why would they do that? Why would they put them out so close to each other? Lilo and Stitch might hit a billy, y'all. I don't know what y'all talking about. Lilo and Stitch flopping. Lilo and Stitch ain't smelling a flop.
Yeah, it's definitely not
It's
flopping.
not at all. If they out there going crazy over
Man.
Frankenstein, chicken, whatever the hell that shit is, man, what do you think they're gonna do for the little blue thing running around all over the place?
Like Tina said, two different target audiences. You're getting
The Minecraft audience.
our generation. No. I think she's talking about Thunderbolts and Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, for sure.
But as far as like you're hitting people from our generation as well. That's like Marcus now has kids. When he saw Lilo and Stitch, we were in I don't know, elementary, middle school when that came out. So now he's taking his kids, people that watched it for the very first time.
Yeah,
Lilo and Stitch is one of my favorite animated Disney films. So I'm there day damn one.
It worked for Lion King. It worked for the Aladdin movie.
mm-hmm.
Those kids are now adults and they want to experience it with their kids. Why wouldn't Lilo be the same way? Ohana means family, bro.
Oh, I'm not mean family.
Didn't Mufasa do Billy?
I don't know if it made $1 billion, but it made a lot of money.
Made like 700 million, maybe.
Let's check it out.
Mufasa.
Yeah, Lilo, like Tina said, Lilo's making bang.
721.
I think so.
Like Johnny Washington said, we're gonna eat that up. Millennials are gonna eat that up. I want to see what's the captain's name at the end of the film when she said, "Don't let those two get on my ship." I hope they do that scene. That scene is hilarious, animated. I want to see it in live action. That shit is funny.
Winner of the poll is Superman. Johnny said that the first Lion King photorealistic animation 1.6.
First Lion King.
Yeah, that's more than Black Panther. Damn.
That's gaudy. 1.6. Crazy.
Aladdin actually visually looked good and had Will Smith. Aladdin actually visually looked good and had Will Smith. That's an insult from Ricardo Woods. Damn.
I know what they were trying to do with Mulan for the culture, the Chinese culture, but you butchered one of the greatest Disney animated films.
The Dragon?
That you could have brought to live action.
And then why would that be the one that you like stricken all the because it wasn't a musical, was it? Mulan wasn't the live action one, wasn't a musical.
No, you didn't have So as soon as I heard Mushu wasn't in it, I said, "Well, I'm not watching. There's no point for me to watch it without Mushu." Like,
well, see, they have to sell it to an international audience.
Nah, I would have took the L on that. You got to have Mushu. You got to have Cricky. You got to have the horse. Forget the horse's name. Kept calling her the cow. He says, "Shame, dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow." Like, you take that scene out. What? Nah, bro. Nah. They like that. I've never even seen that Mulan live action movie.
It's not great. It's not great.
Yeah, I won't be watching.
Next up, important news, guys. The illustrious, 95 years Academy Awards. They've been going for so long. And now, finally, they've introduced a new category. It's going to be for the best stunt. the Tom Cruise Award. You see, they chose his final Mission Impossible to do this. Every voter in that academy will have a bias to vote for Tom Cruise. He's not going to lose this one. He's going to deserve it. They're going to say he won unanimous vote. They're going to tell you exactly how badly he won this. I think that it's a needed category. As all jokes aside, this is something that is actually relevant to film. We don't really highlight the stuntman because the thought is, well, let the stars get all of the praise because the stars are the ones doing the movie. And they even lie sometimes about, oh, I do my own stunts. Every actor has a line like that. The Rock used to say it all the time. Oh, the body double, he's just there for to stand in for things, for scenes. But I do all my own stunts. Now we can finally give some credit to some damn stuntmen. We can get over that. We know how the cookie is made. We get it. I think it's a win. I know that it's a long ceremony. I just don't watch the Oscars and I don't watch all 4 hours, so it doesn't matter to me. So I give them points for introducing the category, and I know Tom Cruise is going to win this. We didn't even see the movie yet. He always has the little, right before the movie, documentary of him when you can see the wires and everything jumping out of the
jumping
helicopter.
off a mountain or some shit. Yeah.
He's always jumping. He's always airborne, and it's stupid. And I think he's going to just, launch his other, before the movie for Mission Impossible, if he hasn't already done it, he'll just do one of those again. And we'll go, oh, yeah, we'll consider this for Oscars, and he'll get it.
Didn't he learn how to fly for Maverick?
What does that mean? Learn how to fly? The
planes, yeah. Learn how to fly for Top Gun Maverick. If he doesn't win, because it would be just how life works for it to come out and then somebody have another amazing, realistic, practical stunt performance in a movie that would be eligible to win. But if it doesn't happen, then him and Jackie Chan should receive the next 2 years in succession the Life Achievement Award for stuntmen or for stunts.
Jackie Chan will be nominated. He's doing Karate Kid.
You think it'll be Oscar-worthy stunts from him in the Karate Kid?
So yeah, if he would have known there was an Oscar, they would have been like, "Oh, this is our chance, yo! Man, I gotta take advantage of it."
I gotta beef it up.
They announced it when the movie's already filmed, so he's not gonna take advantage of it. He might present the award to Tom Cruise.
That would be dope. That would be dope.
Yeah, it would be dope. And then Tom can present it to Jackie Chan when Jackie Chan makes a movie willingly to know he's gonna get the stunt award. Who else is our stunt guys that we're not giving credit to? Bruce Willis.
Statham is a martial artist. He does a lot of his stunts.
Jason Statham, yeah, and he's still young enough. He could win one. If they do Fast and Furious 11, and he's involved, and he tries. Yeah, guys are going to be gunning for the award. The Fast and Furious franchise, they should win it every year.
Who else does a lot of their stuff?
Any women? No.
Yeah, women don't do their own stunts.
Except for in Mandalorian, where she tornado DDT'd Boba Fett. That was her.
I bet Gina Carano does all her own stunts. Very strong in the back area. Female stunts. That would probably be the category where they actually have the stuntmen winning, like the actual behind the scenes stunt people. Because I don't think a lot of women do their stunts.
Michelle Yeoh. What about Meng Na Wen?
Who is Meng Yang? I know who Michelle Yeoh is. I don't know who Meng Yang Wen is.
She was in Boba Fett.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agent May. Agent damn May. Yeah, no, hell yeah. Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of people who were gonna deserve it.
Ooh, Keanu for John Wick.
Yeah.
Yes,
What's the Star Wars dude who plays Maul? Ray Parker?
He's not gonna. Ray Parks. Why would he be nominated?
Because he knows how to wield a dual-bladed lightsaber. And
but what is he making to get nominated?
Oh yeah, probably nothing now. Yeah, but he would have won 1999, right?
Sure. Oh yeah. Ray Park.
That was quick. I thought it would take a little bit longer to get through that. you know, Darius. You know who does their own stunts on live TV with no safety net in one take? You know who Dare Bear? You know?
Dare Bear is
I don't know who Dare Bear is, and I don't know. I don't know.
It's time for a segment we like to call "Make Darius Care About Wrestling."
Hey,
So the main event, Darius, Cody Rhodes, John Cena. Who's your pick? Undisputed WWE Championship.
I don't know. I'll go with the guy I don't know, Cody Rhodes.
That's a good pick.
He's definitely gonna have better fireworks. Whoa! We got 3 people, Dear Bear. We got Seth, we got Roman, we got Punk. Which of these 3 men look the most, victorious? Who's gonna win their match?
Pantheon, acknowledge me.
Who is who?
Just go by the pictures.
Roman Reigns is in the middle. Seth freaking Rollins is off to the left. And
I'm
then
gonna
if you
go
off to
Seth
the right-
Rollins.
let me give you your options. If you look off to the right and you look in his eyes, you should be able to see a cult of personality, and that is CM Punk.
I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins because he was cut from Brave New World.
You wouldn't know who he
Rollins
is.
definitely not winning this
So
one.
he's a Marvel fan. So you're gonna go with the Marvel, the comic head. CM Punk wrote the Drax comic book. He wrote in the Thor annual like 10 years ago. So for that reason, CM Punk. I give this one to CM Punk. He's gonna pin Seth Rollins. Marcus,
Is this
I got the OTC.
real?
this is really
So,
happening.
like when
This
they, yeah, no, I'm sure it's happening, but like,
Darius, don't
like-
play with me. Don't
like
play with
if
me.
Conor
Don't ask
McGregor
me
hit
questions.
you.
Don't ask.
I just want to know.
Stop playing. Don't play with me.
we
wrong
got
with
3
you?
women: Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Bianca Belair.
The women world champion. I'm tired of that. Bianca Belair got to take that belt off of her. Let's go, EST.
They call her the EST, Darius, because she's the strongest, the fastest, the roughest, the toughest, and the best EST.
The EST.
Ah, I see. So could you or me or Marcus do this?
I do it, but I haven't done it in a couple of years, but I've done this.
No. I'm talking on the stage they're on.
Darius, stop playing like you don't know what WrestleMania is. You gonna make me pull up the Norman. You know what WrestleMania is.
No, I don't.
Yes, this is horse.
I don't. I'm assuming. Is it like their playoffs?
I'm about to throw something at him through his camera.
No,
Why
let's
are you
speak in sports
so-
terms. In sports terms, this is
It's
the
their Super
final
Bowl.
pay-per-view finale. This is like where every storyline leads up to. They reserve the best matches. They'll keep these opponents away, and then they'll finally book them for this. And the 3 of the top women, this one won the Royal Rumble or the Elimination Chamber match. Bianca Belair is there, and she's going to take the title off of Io Sky, is what Marcus just told you. Who do you think is the Australian on the left, the Japanese in the middle, or my girl from
I'm going with
from
the
Tennessee?
sister.
Is that right?
Going with the sister.
Issa Rae?
And I don't know why Raymond says I don't know shit.
There is
Only-
zero chance,
he-
Darius. You've hung out with
Listen.
the people that you've had to hang out with to enjoy comic books and never heard the words WrestleMania.
Right.
There's just
No,
no
I'm
way.
not saying I've never heard of WrestleMania. I just don't know what it is. I've heard the word WrestleMania, but after that, I've never been given or went looking for context as to what WrestleMania
I
is.
There
just
have
I
been
find that so hard.
41 of these pay-per-views, and it's always the big one that happens in April. This is WrestleMania.
The only thing I remember from my childhood about wrestling is The Rock. And do you smell what The Rock is cooking? That is the only thing I remember.
At WrestleMania.
I thought he was just another match somewhere. I didn't know it was.
Yeah, you ain't never had no wrestling games on 64 or PlayStation
Shoot.
3.
I feel bad for your
I had a
childhood.
friend that had the action figure like set deal.
I had an elimination
the-
chamber. That shit was awesome.
with the ring.
Yeah.
But I would like bring over like my Spider-Man and then my
Son.
Batman, and like they would fight in his ring.
Who would win?
My guys had superpowers. What?
Next on the card, Jey Uso.
Oh, I
versus-
hate this match so much.
Yeah, honestly, I don't care about it either.
I
Who you
am
got?
so tired of watching Jey Uso promos. Jesus Christ.
Yeet, yeet. He's gonna lose.
Let me tell you something, Oos. Let me tell you something, Oos. I'm scared of you, Gunther. But now I'm not scared, Gunther. At WrestleMania, I'm gonna beat you, Gunther. He can't act.
Where can I watch this to where I can engage in the conversation after this is aired?
Netflix. Go hop on
Oh,
Netflix and
okay.
watch the last 3 months of Raw and just catch up.
There's 3 months.
You don't
it'll
have
be
to.
quick. It'll
No,
go
you
quick.
don't got to. Just
It'll be
watch
quick.
the important parts. Watch the main eventers. John Cena and The Rock is expected on this.
So pull something up on YouTube for me of what I can expect once I sit down to watch it on Netflix, because I need a preview. Like I'm telling y'all, acting like I think I'm joking. No.
So not only
Like,
have
I
you
really
never
don't.
heard, not have you never known what WrestleMania was, but now you don't even know what professional wrestling looks like. Now you've
No.
never seen.
I
Raw,
know that they
SmackDown,
do like the
WCW, ECW, none of that.
yeah. Like the whole chairs and tag man. They go in there and they like, bah, they hit him with the chair.
Did he say
and come out
tag
the
me in?
ring.
Yeah, they got tag
Don't
matches
they
here.
do that?
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
tag
I was gonna
matches.
say,
We'll
don't they
get to
do
one.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it, like, but
Another
I've never.
fight.
I can't tell you that I've ever witnessed WrestleMania, and if I did,
Okay.
it was purely by accident. I didn't know I was watching WrestleMania.
Chill,
You
give me
wouldn't.
the
You would
damn
know
bitch.
because you would have to pay for this as a big event, so you would know if you were watching WrestleMania. It doesn't just happen to be on TV for free, like a Monday Night Raw. Who you got, Charlotte or Tiffany?
Charlotte. I hate Tiffy Time. She's a cheap Trish Stratus knockoff. I really don't even like her moves, to be honest with you. Let's go Charlotte Flair.
Is that a 3 for 3? Charlotte Flair?
Sure.
I'm
You know
gonna
her
go with
dad?
the other girl just because she's not.
Do you know who her dad is, Darius?
Who's dead?
Charlotte Flair.
You mean all the weeks I done played all of the? Where is he?
Woo!
Ric Flair drip go woo on a bitch. 5790 spent the coupe on my wrist. Multi-million dollar, I'm a fool.
You know who Ric Flair is?
I was about to say that line don't mean nothing to you, huh?
No.
Ric Flair drip go woo on a bitch. That didn't mean anything to Darius.
I'm watching Charlotte right now fight Tiffany.
Okay. And
Yeah, that's not the best representation. You talking about when they was like in the crowd and everything? They was kind of fighting through the.
No,
Out of the
this
ring.
is WWE SmackDown highlight from April 11th.
Yeah. I think that's when they was fighting all over. Again, they've got some matches that are going on here in WrestleMania that the lead up has been kind of lackluster.
and that was the point of that, to make you believe they hated each other so that you'd be interested in the WrestleMania match.
But I'm not.
Okay, so yes, this is essentially what The Rock did.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Yeah, same
So, yeah,
company.
Literally same company.
I've seen The Rock do this. So that leads me back to my original question that I'm just asking that Marcus won't let me ask.
Because it's
Is
like
this
asking
like
a woman
if Conor
her weight
McGregor hit
or
you?
age.
When
Fam,
Conor McGregor hits you, it's because he intends to win this fight. When the wrestlers hit you, like
When they hit
Logan,
you.
they want to put on a good show.
yes.
Okay. That's where I was trying to get to.
We
If
gotta,
you watch Logan Paul
This-
fight, if you watch Logan Paul box, then you can watch wrestling.
yeah. Logan
Are
Paul,
you talking
Jake
about
Paul.
the Logan Paul? The Logan Paul. Oh, he does this.
That's
I didn't
him.
Yeah,
know
I
didn't know
want to
the Paul
say
brothers did
AJ
that.
Styles is going to win this one, but it feels like Logan's been getting a bit of a push. Seems like he's on an ascension
Let me
a
see
little
him.
bit.
Look, he's
see him
captured
winning
his
this.
interest. That's the point. That's why they reach out to these influencers and they try to see if they, if they have any athletic background, which Logan Paul does. He was a wrestler collegiately, or in high school at least,
High
like
school.
that. High school wrestling. He was a Ohio state champion or something, right?
Something like that, I guess.
Maybe he's not. I'm adding a little bit too much to it.
Oh, is he? I was about to say, I have no clue. I didn't even know. I was just going to let you have it.
He did something in Ohio. However successful he was, who knows? But he's got wrestling, and while it is a different sport, it's still gonna translate over. And he was a good wrestling in WWE pro wrestler, so he will win this match against AJ Styles. There will be a stunt,
Unfortunately.
and yeah, there'll be speed or Kai Cenat. You know, it's Kai's turn now.
I don't think they can't spear Kai though. I wouldn't even feel comfortable doing a wrestling move on Kai. He's too small. I feel like something would legitimately go wrong. Like even with speed, that shit with Braun Breaker, man, I gave him props for that because he really tore him in two. There's only so much you can take off of it and make it look like that. So, you know, shout out to him, but I would be legitimately scared for Kai.
Okay, I got Logan Paul. You got Logan Paul.
Champion.
Darius.
Hey man, what the hell is this? Like,
Well, isn't that I think that's the guy I'm watching Logan Paul throw around the ring right now. So I guess I would go with Logan Paul.
Easy pick. Now we got 4 men. See, when 4 people wrestle, it's called a fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental belt. It's less prestigious than the world title. Which of these 4 men captures your interest?
Definitely the dude in the bottom right.
Penta. So
I agree.
I want to say Braun Breaker is going to retain because he's kind of been on a nice little run, but Penta hopping in, he's been very popular. People have responded to him very well. I think this whole thing with Dom and Finn Balor is going to lead to Damage Control breaking up, obviously, to kind of start their little feud together. It's between Braun Breaker and Penta, to be honest with you. One of them.
Judgment Day.
Sorry, not Damage Control.
Here we go. This one's LA Knight, and this is Jacob Fatu. You know what I mean?
See, I'm torn because I know where it's going. I just don't want it to go that way. First of all, it's too many of y'all. Second of all, I needed this to be Braun Strowman. I've been looking for Braun Strowman to get back and catch these hands on somebody, and they didn't let this man get his little fluke win on the last man stand match to fight LA Knight at WrestleMania. It all kind of feels a little sudden, but I'm thinking it's going to be Jacob Fatu. It's going to be the werewolf.
You never bet against The Rock's cousin. It's Jacob Fatu.
You don't bet against them damn Samoans. They ain't going to be there for sure.
Darius, Samoan?
Mm-hmm.
That's what Professor Film Fan says.
Yeah,
It's unanimous.
size.
Easy.
Jacob Fatu.
Now here's an interesting match. We have Rey Mysterio of San Diego, but a Mexican, and
Could have done without this.
and El Grande Americano from the Gulf of America.
What's that man real name? Call him by his real American name. What is it? I don't know why I want to say Chad Powers. It's not Chad Powers. It's
Chad Gable.
Chad Gable. There you go. Chad
we got,
goddamn Gable.
I think he's gonna get his mask torn off in this match, and it'll expose him for who he truly is.
Mm-hmm.
Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio in 5.
No, I got Rey.
The guy
I
that
got Rey.
looks like he would have been like an Avenger in like the 50s.
What would have been his name, Darius?
I don't know, Hawk something.
The American asshole. That's what I would have called him.
We'll see how that turns out.
Something.
Here we go. You know Storm. You know Naomi.
Jade
got winning?
Cargill versus Naomi. Quietly, dark horse for best match of the night. Dark horse for best match of the night right here.
I'm gonna call it the best feud of WrestleMania.
Sure. Yeah, this is the only beef that's been brewing for months leading up to WrestleMania that I actually believe, that actually feels legit. You know what I mean? Like the rest of it just feels very manufactured, kind of pushed. Let's get as many faces as we can into these matches. That's where all the fatal 4-ways and triple threats are coming from. This feels like they took their time. There's actual history here. It feels like it has a future after WrestleMania. Dark horse for match of the night right here. Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
They spent all that money to hire Jade. She's not losing at WrestleMania.
She's definitely not losing. She's definitely not losing. Now, what's interesting is who moves on to Bianca after this match? Because one of them is moving on to fight Bianca. Don't make no mistake. Is it going to be Jade? Does she play the angle of, no, the only reason why I got hurt is because you was messing around with Naomi. I'm cool. Leave me alone. Or is it Naomi? Yeah, I put Jade down. Now it's your turn, Bianca. I like the second one of those better.
Naomi can fight Jade and be upset with each other without her losing this match. I think you got to protect Jade Cargill, the investment that she is, and she's younger too, I think.
Yeah, no, sure. She can absolutely lose this match. I'm just saying, where are they going to take it? Because I think it's clear that Bianca's going to be taking a heel turn here post WrestleMania. So then who is her next target? Like, what's the next conflict with her? Is it Naomi? Is it Jade? Does it fuck around and be both? That would be a crazy twist of fate.
Yeah, who do you vote for? Because you voted Bianca earlier, but when they're both chocolate on chocolate, like Tony puts it, who do you vote for?
In this match, I would root for Jade. I think Jade has the moral high ground in this beef over Naomi. Naomi's whining a bit, so I would take Jade in this fight.
And what does the Aquarius say? He's gonna say, "I like her in her storm outfit. It's Jade."
That's you. There you go. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Man,
tag me in, brother. We got New Day. We got Eric and Ivar. They're called War Machine or War Raiders. Sorry,
War Raiders. Well, New Day sucks, and the War Raiders
is booking. We got the Hunter Hearst Helmsley who's gonna not put these guys in title picture. Nah, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Like at all.
I'm joking. The New Day are hotter. The New Day have the better programs. They have the Ivar and Eric. They're pretty stale. You got to go with the New Day. I'm gonna root for them, even though I shouldn't be rooting for them.
Yeah, no, I mean they're definitely gonna win. You can tell by kind of what's been happening with them over the last few weeks with the LWO and who else did they run into? Who's the Otis and the Asian guy?
Oh yeah, American Alpha.
American Alpha. They was fighting with them for a little while, so I think it's time for them to grab the belts and kind of lead that from a heel perspective. Do we ever see a reunion with Big E, even if Big E's not going to wrestle anymore?
Surprise cameo appearance. He'll come down the aisle. Maybe he'll try to help them win. Who knows what he'll do?
But I don't think it happens as a heel, though. I think it has to come back as a redemption arc for them to really maximize it. You don't want to bring back Big E just to make him a bad guy.
You're right. He'll help them, and they'll say, "We never needed your help, anyways," and it'll create more heat. But it's WrestleMania. He'll show up.
Yeah.
Your turn.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I'll go with I'm gonna go with the brother, and I'm gonna go with the one in the back.
Nope, this is a tag team match. They're a team.
Sorry, the brothers.
I'm gonna go with the one in the back.
What about when there's all white or Latina? Where you go here? Which tag team? The one on the right or the one on the left?
Who is that's Lila Valkyria and who?
Yeah, exactly.
Bailey. Right.
Oh, BBL Bailey. Oh, give me Lila and nah. It's probably gonna be old girls from what was the group we were just talking about? Not Damage Control. Damage Control. There you go.
Is that their names? I thought okay. I don't pay
No.
attention.
It's something you corrected me. It's something else.
Judgment Day. I think Damage Control is the NXT team.
Judgment Day. I keep saying Damage Control. It's Judgment Day.
Damage Control was when Asuka, Io Sky, Kairi, Dakota Kai, and Bailey were a thing. That was Damage Control.
Yeah.
And Darius
Judgment Day is those two. Carlito, which I'm surprised he's still wrestling. Carlito was long time ago. I spit in the face of people who are not cool. I'm glad he ain't doing that shit no more. Give me them two on the left.
Yeah, me too.
Just 'cause I don't think they're gonna let a girl hold two belts. I don't even know who Lyra Valkyria is. So.
That was the final match on the card. And then we got Randy Orton
to the left.
Did you? Yeah, you got the bigger main eventers. All right. Randy Orton's gonna wrestle probably the SmackDown GM, but they'll decide that tomorrow. Well, that's our WrestleMania picks, bro. I hope you guys enjoy night 1 on Saturday, night 2 on Sunday. I'm gonna definitely make sure that Darius gets a clip to whatever happens with The Rock, because he's gonna surprise and show up.
If you smell
Yeah.
what The Rock is cooking.
He might open the night up.
Doom, 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 doom,
Rock.
doom, doom, doom,
Dwayne.
doom, doom. You can call him the final boss.
The board member, the director of board members.
The head of the table.
Ooh.
That would actually be a trip. We should find a central spot to meet up in and see an episode of SmackDown.
We could do that on
We
StreamYard.
should take them to see a wrestling match.
They come to Oklahoma City.
What happened?
Are you talking about taking me to a WWE like WrestleMania match?
No, we're
Yeah,
not
well,
going to WrestleMania.
Not all the
We are
events
not
are
going to
called WrestleMania. Okay, but yes, a wrestling card where they will probably have 6 or 7 matches. Some people talk trash on the microphone. 2.5 hours. Yes, you can do it.
Okay, like is The Rock there?
There's a chance he could be there because it's that season.
It's possible.
Okay,
He's
It's
not
possible.
filming anymore.
Yeah,
His UFC movie, remember that the fighting machine or smash machine? He's done filming that.
He's shooting that.
Oh.
He's shooting that new film with Scorsese about the Hawaiian gangster.
But he can take one day off to go travel to Mania. He'll be there.
WrestleMania is whites only is crazy. It's actually not true. I mean, there's a lot of they're at least posturing towards us nowadays with some of the celebrities that they highlight, people that they bring in for guest appearances. It has been much more balanced than what it was growing up, for sure.
When they go to Atlanta and they show you who's sitting ringside, I mean, courtside. They got Killer Mike and they got like 2 Chainz, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it's completely flipped. Wrestling used to be very much so punk rock. It was a very much punk rock thing, and there wasn't very much room aesthetic wise for anything outside of that, and it kind of slowly built its way out over the years. Is The Rock going to be there? Brian Fisher. He does sound like a kid. Is The Rock going to be there?
Yeah, he'll rock bottom
Rock
somebody
is
for
there.
sure.
Man, what I would pay to see The Rock give a rock bottom people's elbow live? Oh man, take all my monies.
How much more we got to talk about tonight? I think we're done, and we did it in 2 hours. No, we didn't do Snape.
There was. Oh yeah, Snape.
We're not done.
That's official.
Snape. Yes, it is
Severus
official. A few days ago, HBO Max put out, why do I always do that? HBO put out the casting thus far for the Harry Potter HBO Max series. I liked again, I don't know who some of those actors are. I do know who is playing Dumbledore. I know who's playing McGonagall. Jeanette McTeer, I think is how you say her last name. Janet McTeer, who's playing McGonagall. I think that's the one for me. That's I think she's gonna kill that. I really do. She's great. I think she fits. They just need to cast those kids. As far as Snape goes, woo, sheesh. I saw somebody say the only way they can right this wrong with Snape is if they make Harry black, so they don't. So when James bullies him, it's not racist. And I said, oh my goodness.
You should have told them, hey, you stole that take from Marcus on the Pantheon / back of the bus. You stole it. Okay.
I said that too. Well, I said in my stream on Monday, I said Marcus was the first person I heard bring this whole thing up, and I didn't even think about it when you brought it up that first time and anything like that. But yeah, that is true. You know, there's a possibility where I don't think let me put it this way. If they do that, the show is absolutely, positively, without question, dead on arrival.
Dead on arrival.
There's no question whatsoever.
So you're saying if Harry's black, then James is black, not Lily? So we are getting beige. We would be getting beige Potter, but James would be black.
I mean, but if Lily's, what are you saying? Lily be white?
And then we got the 2 black students at Hogwarts bullying each other over a white girl.
So either way you spin it, it really doesn't work. Either way you spin it, it really doesn't work.
Yeah, so you either got the 2 black students fighting each other over Willie Light or Lily White, Lily White Potter, or you've got black guy bullied by white guy to take black girlfriend away from black guy.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
But don't you feel seen?
No, not in the least bit. Not in the least bit. But it will be interesting
Yeah.
to see the engagement online. Beige Potter, man, how did we get to this point? Well, it's still not that bad because we don't know what the results are. This is a lot of speculation. Only thing we know right now is that
Raymond,
Snape is
that
black.
is not true.
No,
That is not true. No, I'm saying what Raymond said at the top, saying Harry being black actually makes the series a success. No. This is like a Star Wars or like a Lord of the Rings, or this is a franchise that is already pre-established, that fans have a pre-established connection with. These were books before they were movies. The people love these books. Some of them went on to love these movies, and then you found a newfound audience that didn't even know about, or weren't reading the books like myself. I didn't read the books prior to watching Harry Potter. So you make your main character, you make Harry black. Yeah. Okay. It'd be disastrous. It'd be disastrous. And I would feel so very sad for the whatever kid gets cast as Harry. Just like somebody said on Twitter, I feel sorry for whoever his name is that's cast as I can't pronounce his name, cast as Snape.
he grown
because
he grown. Papa
his
Papa grown.
yeah, his it's like Moses Ingram though. His DMs are going to be filled with all types of shit.
I was
I would
about to
definitely
disagree.
suggest you hop off of socials before the premiere for sure.
I was about to disagree with you when you said it's like Moses Ingram, but no, I know what you mean. Just the DMs part of it. But unlike
Yeah, the DMs part.
my boy from the Government Cheese comedy show, which is coming on Apple TV, unlike David Oyelowo, Papa chose this. He chose to take this role. Now listen to this answer. When you play Severus Snape, you're just maintaining all the white characters that are white without adding anything to the culture. You're using your talents. You're getting paid. Congratulations, and you'll probably support your family, right? But outside of that, like, you're not doing anything that David is talking about doing when you, Papa, go, oh, I can play Professor Snape. If you're such a good actor, use your talents to make the next book. You know, where were you for Children, Blood, and Bone? You could have been on that casting.
Yeah, and it's not so much to, I'm sorry, just reading comments there. It's not so much too about caring, to answer Raymond, about caring about what racists think, or it's not even that. Me as a black person who fell in love with Harry Potter through the films, I wasn't allowed to watch it when I was a kid because I grew up in a Christian household. Couldn't watch that. But when I got out and I was able to, I think I watched it in like late teens, and I was like, holy shit, this shit is bro, I love Harry Potter. Harry Potter is great. I love Harry Potter. And I tell you what, you make him black, I'm rioting. Why the fuck? Why make Harry black? Like, why? And then what Not Again 90 said there about, hopefully not just using these, purposefully using them to make them bad. I would think, I think the bigger we'd have a bigger conversation at play if you're doing that, because like, why would you waste time, money, talent to push some weird let's make them black and then let's make them bad? You're spending all that money, all this time, all this talent, like that'd be a waste. It'd be a larger conversation at play.
I don't think it helps the property get off its feet. I don't think it helps anybody involved to start with this level of controversy for something that you're making a concerted effort to do. You don't just wake up and cast the black guy for Harry Potter and not think about all of the the uphill. Well, first of all, the things narratively that you'd have to change to fit the character. That's the biggest thing, is that you have to change the story materially to make it work, is the biggest part. And then the second part is the reaction. You can't blame people for not getting what they expected and being upset. Like, they came here for something. People went to Snow White to
I
go
agree.
see a damsel get saved and a wicked witch get defeated. And instead, they got Gal Gadot and the most hideous Bob the world has ever seen.
Hell no.
And the night champagne.
And then to what I'm just kind of going back and forth reading everybody's, but Rand's talking more there to that part too. When you said you can play fictional characters, okay, but then when they tell us why can't Ryan Gosling play T'Challa, then we go in talking about, oh well, because narratively and where he's from and all that kind of stuff and blah blah blah, it wouldn't make sense to the character. Same thing with Harry. If you make Harry black, like Marcus said, you have to change things. So if we're okay with that, then why can't Ryan Coogler pop out fucking Matt Damon as T'Challa?
Now,
Right,
I understand why
exactly.
you
No,
created the
I
metaphor.
agree.
That would be a good Elseworld multiverse cameo. Just, hey, leave Wakanda alone, dude. And they just cut off to another variant. That'd be funny.
I understand the metaphor. If we're talking practically why it's not the same, we don't need.
We don't have to
really-
explain that.
We don't need to do that. Yeah, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that.
Harry Potter, good luck. You're supposed to go
Yeah.
8 seasons, and if this gets canceled at 3, we won't be surprised. Darius, what were you saying?
I was again what Raymond said. He said that he won't be watching it for 20. But that's okay because Harry Potter is massively successful. It's not looking for new fans. They're not like, God, we need more people. We like they just opened F Universe and they opened up
Hogwarts Land,
the magic, the Ministry of Magic, and do you know how many people have been posting video? I want to go. Like, they don't need new fans. Like, they're not looking for people to change their minds or to bring new people in. They want to recreate a series and do more with it because they couldn't do it in the movies. So it's fine.
So you could use this go around on HBO Max to create new characters. One of them could be black, and you can hire Papa SCG to play this character, or he could be a teacher. But you can create new characters. Therefore, at the theme park and everywhere else you do Harry Potter merch, you could have another character to sell. Instead, we'll just race swap Snape right now. And we look at the cover for Order of Phoenix. Hermione Granger's a white girl. The books is a white. The movies was Hermione Granger was casted by Emma Watson, was white. And then in the play, The Cursed Child, they hired a black woman to play her in the theatrical play. Oh, and now this is the HBO series, and they're going to cast somebody white again. Race swapping is never this progressive thing. It's an excuse to appear like they're doing some sort of like change, that they're doing like they're doing representation, when they're not launching black IP or whatever race it is IP. It preserves all the characters without having to, the consequences of a black character actually getting popular. Daryl in The Walking Dead, and I'm quoting somebody, Kaida. If you guys know Kaida, Kaida, I was watching his video. Daryl in The Walking Dead is not a Walking Dead comic book character, or his brother Merle. They invented that for the show. We're like 10 seasons later, they're the best characters on the show. Everyone loves Daryl, and it's because
Daryl.
Don't we? And a lot of people die in Walking Dead, so I guess you needed to create somebody who could stay with the cast for a long time. It was a successful go. You could do the same with Harry Potter. He doesn't have to be in every scene, but hire somebody, create a character, a student or something, elevate that character, and we as Harry Potter fans would embrace him eventually.
You know what they can do to make it right? Just make everybody black. Everyone, whole school, Dumbledore, McGonagall, Potter, Ronald Weasley, everybody, Hermione Granger, if you change everybody's black. Now Hogwarts is a black school, and I'm down. I'll take it.
Thank you, Khadija, for agreeing with me. And thank you to Michael Nemo. Are we done? Are we done with the Harry Potter stuff? Anyone? Harry? All right, Family Feud time.
In my bag now.
Does no one click on the super chat again?
A lot of black people love AP.
Does no one feel it's too soon for a Potter reboot?
When was the last movie? 2011? I feel like.
Yeah.
I mean, 14, 15 years after the last movie feels apt. Maybe it feels it feels that way, maybe because the saga itself was so long. Like, it was multi-generational for sure. I started watching Harry Potter in 2001, 2000.
2001. I was in first grade when the first Harry Potter came out.
And if you were a book reader, you had been reading several years in advance to that. So it's definitely multi-generational. So it feels soon because it's already covered so many years of your life already. You would
Michael's a lot older than
time.
us. Michael's older. Time moves a lot faster when you're older. Like, it does. When you're a 10-year-old and you go, this is gonna happen next year, you're going like, whoa, next year. When you're in your 50s, this is gonna happen next year. You're like, okay, got to do the 4 seasons, and this thing is coming next year. So it feels faster for him than it would for us. But I still would agree with you, Michael, that it is something that's too soon. I could have waited 3 more years. And look, they're just doing casting, and they're only casting the adults. Remember, the kids casting. That's when they do that. That's when they're really close to shooting.
They're doing the kids casting right now. They've had over, what they say, 300,000 or something like that. They interviewed 1,000 kids a day. They're trying to narrow it down to, because I mean, you got to get that. I mean, no matter what you do, not everyone's going to be happy with it regardless, but you want to somewhat nail that casting. Draco, Harry.
See, he
Ron,
also
and Hermione.
said that Michael Nemo did that he would have preferred a continuation in a recast. I would have preferred a continuation as well.
Same.
I
Some
think
original
I would
story,
have preferred a
J.K. Rowling.
continuation as well.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to say goodbye to those 3.
I'm not ready to say goodbye to the arc we were on, right? Like, there's still more to go. What happened? Obviously, they defeated Voldemort and they started building families, so then nothing else ever happened to them ever again. Like, come on, man. It's wizarding world. There are other threats to be fought. There are other trials to be had. Keep writing that story.
But that contract they're gonna negotiate is gonna be killer.
But I think that's what somewhat of the point of the series is. I think they are, if it is successful, they are going to go past 9 from the movies and expand on it, from my understanding of what they're doing. They're supposed to show more things that wasn't in the books and things like that and blah, blah, blah. But as far as like the Harry Potter series and everything like that goes, I think even with, it's like we were talking about with Lilo and Stitch, you've got people that are fans of Harry Potter that have kids, and since 2001, their kids have had kids, some of them, and it's like, you've shared that now with 3 different generations. So you don't think that third generation is going to continue to share? And I'm talking like I'm telling the race thing. The white folks still aren't, like, they're not going to continue to share that. And I mean, it's a generational thing. I mean, and then like Not Again 90 said, I know a lot of black folks too that like Harry Potter. There are a lot of black Potterheads out there that do like it. And if J.K. Rowling had any stain, and she does, I'm not going to say what she said, didn't put some sort of stain on the franchise, but not really, because again, epic universe. Look at how many people right now are flooding in and out of the Mystery of Magic to go have the Harry Potter experience. I mean, and then the original cast just did what, 2 years ago, the reunion.
Yeah.
Harry Potter is a magical experience, and unless you really get into it and experience it like that, her comments on that don't take me personally out of the experience and magic of Harry Potter.
I'm hoping for the best.
Now that Fantastic Beast, they can keep that.
You wanted to mention Ianu?
No. Oh, man. We should have brought it up around wrestling. So I think that what you are looking for in Ianu already exists in Invincible Fight Girl.
Oh.
I think everything you're looking for in that TV show is right there in Invincible Fight Girl. I watched There's only 9 episodes from season 1 on Max right now. I'm on episode 9 as we speak. I'm blown away, man. And I'm trying to give Ianu a chance. Obviously, I'm going to continue watching and reviewing with you, whatever. It's already there. Invincible Fight Girl is already there. It's an anime-like storytelling form, right? There's not really a whole lot that moves on like narratively. It's very, very like kind of like flavor of the month or flavor of the episode. They go episode to episode, kind of doing different things. There's not really there's a central plot, but it's not heavy on that. It's more so on the individual episodes and the things that she experiences along the way.
So how is that like Ianu? Ianu's totally a story. You're getting from A to B.
No. I said what you were looking to get from Ianu may benefit you to shift your focus over at Invincible Fight Girl. It's a much better show. At least right now, it is a far superior show. And again, a lot of things that you liked about it, the animation, the fact that it was a black main character. They have a black nuclear family. Her parents are in it. They're very supportive of her.
They're alive.
Career as a wrestler. They're alive, right? So we're already passing a lot of barriers that we don't get at other studios there.
Who's the creative behind it?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I'll check.
She's
You
not
watch
a girl boss.
Does anyone in chat watch it?
Losses. She's really good. Chat, y'all watching Invincible Fight Girl?
2024. Invincible Fight Girl. It says the cast is done by the program creator is Justin Gordon Montgomery.
Shout out to Justin Gordon. Pen is strong.
What else has he done?
Strong.
He's an LA native writer director. Sorry, I'm covering some of it, aren't I? I always get the wrong screens for this. Graduated from Otis College of Art and Design. But when? What year? How old is he? I guess that doesn't matter. Okay, cool guy. He needs to learn how to like take a proper photo. Like this was gonna be on a website, bro. You smile. You know what I mean? It's a kids program.
I think it'll talk to the wrestler in you too. It's a wrestling themed anime with a black lead character.
Yeah, should be good.
I love it. I haven't stopped watching it since I put it on.
Let me see if it's in Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Invincible Fight Girl Canada. Let me put. No, it's on Apple TV Canada. Yeah, I got it. If I have Apple TV. Okay.
It's not on Max in Canada?
We don't even have that service.
You don't have HBO Max?
Nah.
Well, you're really not missing a lot.
Yeah, maybe something every now and again, but
House of the Dragon?
House of the Dragon, White Lotus is good. Righteous Gemstones is pretty funny.
Culture Made Channel says it's overrated. Oh, Invincible. Never mind.
Is he saying Invincible or Invincible Fight Girl? Okay, yeah. Invincible.
You gonna call me a noob? What were you gonna say?
Oh, me? No, I was actually gonna say something else, but I'm gonna say this now. I think I actually may, and I should have said this during our Star Wars discussion. I think I'm thinking about it. Whew, gosh, I might watch Andor because Tony Gil, and I'm expecting nobody but possibly maybe Tarkin or maybe Leia. But that one part in Andor season 2 trailer they released where I don't even know who she is, the Imperial or the guard. Imperial officer, rather, sorry, is being choked out, and nobody else can be doing that but Vader. So if you have me, if he's there, because it's real.
Darius,
so if he's there, it matters. I want to see it's more Vader.
Why?
It's more Vader because it's Rogue One Vader, and it's Vader, but it's peak Vader. It's peak Vader.
We already saw that scene in Rogue One. We saw it already.
But it's new dialogue. We don't know what he's telling her when he's choking her. We don't.
Who cares?
I do.
His ship gets destroyed. They all die. The end.
Hey, man.
We know where this is going. Who gives a flying poop?
I'm watching for
one
the
day. I'm
Vader
going to
scene
sit
if he's
down with
there.
the Andor watcher, and they're going to explain to me why that show is so popular.
Yeah.
I still agree. But if he's there, maybe I'll just watch the clip. But if he's there,
It would be like if you shot a movie, or excuse me, shot a TV show for 2 seasons over the 3 months leading up to the final battle in Endgame. So like when he was still doing therapy sessions with Russo brothers and shit, and you know, Black Widow was running the Avengers on Skype calls and shit. Yeah, that if you did a 2-season TV show on that, and then got all the way up into the fight where the portals are opening up, and then that's the end of the series.
Hey, listen. I know they're gonna die. I don't care about them.
Like, yeah, they're all gonna fucking die.
Notice I said Vader. I don't care about them. I just want to see what he's doing. But what culture the Culture Made channel asked me, did I see that Star Wars series doing? Yeah, he's been making that for quite some time. He released that first few clips of it, so I'm very interested to see all the hard work he's put into it.
That's the one with Mace Windu, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
He said he had to start it over. He said that the people he was partnered with first, and it was all a waste of money and time, and he's got to kind of start from scratch. And it's embarrassing to say that, but he will. Sure wish I had that kind of.
Yeah, I watched that. Bruh, when I watched the video, I said the same thing. I said, when he was, I was like, God, that is. But he worked for that. Worked very hard to get where he is.
He did work hard for it. And then lately, though, it's every Wednesday or Monday I turn on my screen, complain about what's wrong with Star Wars for 2 hours with a couple other YouTubers.
Henry has a theory. He hates Star Wars. Henry says he's always hated Star Wars. Henry doesn't think he actually likes Star Wars.
Remember my wager that Andor season 2 was going to be higher rated than Daredevil season 4. Yeah, you did say that.
That's nuts.
And I said I was with you because I said all the Daredevil people who are supposed to be the fans for that, they've already unsubscribed. So all the Andor people, they're still there. Give me more, Kathy.
Yeah, we'll see. What's next
Bird asks,
for coming out? Oh, go ahead and read Birds.
Curious for you guys to answer it. Did you all? No, we didn't talk about E-Man's recast T'Challa info and the discussion with Coogler. I'll go last.
I talked about it on the stream. More the same, man. It was a roundabout answer. We didn't even get a direct question. What you should take from it is that while Ryan Coogler may not be on that track, it may not be in Ryan Coogler's hands totally. Is what I took from whatever information was asked and whatever information was willing to give up. Ryan was willing to give up. He's not going to. If they leave it up to him, it's not happening. If they strong arm him, or if the Russos get first swing, then just that's how businesses work. That's how big business works. But somebody's going to have to do it for him. He's not going to be convinced. He's not going to be peer pressured. Don't even have social media. Like he just hops back into the ether whenever he has something to promote. So after Sinners has its run, we ain't even gonna be able to touch this man until he's talking about Black Panther 3.
But isn't Proximity Media doing production on Ironheart?
So there are a lot of times, Nate Moore's name is all over these projects as an EP. I don't think that he's there every day on these projects. So maybe that was one of the. Well, you know what? No, because that's one of the projects I think Ryan Coogler was contracted to do, along with the Eyes of Wakanda. That was one of the last things in his contract. Black Panther 3, Eyes of Wakanda, and then Ironheart is probably the last thing on his deal. So maybe he does have a heavy influence into it, but that's not. That ain't really changing anything for me.
No, we know how I feel. I've said it, and I talked about it. I talked about it on a disastrous stream on Monday, or whatever day that was. Yeah, disastrous then. So I talked about it then. But no, I like I said, he pivoted the first time he was asked by Shannon. He pivoted again when he was asked by Charlemagne, and of course the question that what we got from E-Man in that conversation was that like you said, in the Russo's hands. And as I said on Monday, if it's in the Russo's hands, that is a hopeful thing, possibly, if they are actually going to, recast T'Challa. If they're listening to E-Man the first time he spoke to them, when he showed them the panel and they were like, oh, thank you for showing us this. Again, as guys that have been saying for as long as they've been directing Marvel films that they want to get their hands on the X-Men and Secret Wars, you would think, being, knowing that they have read Secret Wars as many times as they've talked about reading Secret Wars, the original, and Jonathan Hickman's, you would know how important to Jonathan Hickman's, because that's the version they're going with Doomsday and all that, how important the character of T'Challa is. So you would think they would bring or use T'Challa. That is the hopeful side of things, if the Russos do indeed get to make that decision. Now, again, I don't know how credible or anything like that with my source and all that stuff is. Again, you know what I was told, that Eyes of Wakanda is seemingly important to usher in a recast. On top of that, if the trades don't get to it first, then they're going to announce a recast of T'Challa, supposedly, at Comic-Con. If the Russos are at Comic-Con, I mean, I don't know. As I said on Monday, what a way to blow up Comic-Con, because that would be a way to really just be like, holy shit. But as of right now, I'm still on the same side of the fence, as I don't see him coming. I don't know.
I think bringing attention to the Russos is a futile tactic. Russos didn't have no quote saying that we will not recast. Russos didn't say it was a decision that we made in minutes. Russos didn't say, well, my truth is that Chadwick Boseman is T'Challa. It's not a Russos thing. It's always, they could make the movie with Secret Wars and Doomsday using Black Panther from another universe who really is T'Challa. And then he can say, bye, everyone. I'm glad to have helped in your adventures. And then he goes back to his universe. It's like all attention needs to be on Toussaint and advocacy that kid is not T'Challa. That's where my focus is.
Yeah. Yeah. What were you going to say, Marcus?
I was going to say, I thought it was strange of him to bring up the numbers.
Well, we don't know what the question was, so I don't know if that was relevant to ask in the answer.
Well, but even still, like, for him to be cognizant of the numbers that Black Panther Wakanda Forever has put up, he called it a $2 billion franchise. Well, if you know it's a $2 billion franchise, then I know you know that 1.3 of that came from the first movie. So, buddy, we're asking pertinent questions here about the future of Black Panther, and you're swinging your meat about how much money you've made off of it. Well, if you're counting your dollars that specifically, that you know the dollar amount that your franchise has made, then you know for sure that it's a diminishing project. See, I can kind of push that stuff to the back burner for creatives because they're not always, determined by the box office. They don't determine whether or not their art is good based off of that. Not all of them, right? If you jump out your skin and tell me, oh, the stuff that I've produced made this dollar amount and made this much money. Okay. Oh, bet. Thank you for opening that door for me. Because if you look over here, you can see on my chart of numbers that 1.3 is much more than 850.
Yes, it is. In Canada too.
I'm trying to figure out how you can put that $2 million number in your head and pat yourself on your back, but not realize that it's diminishing over properties and question yourself over why.
But the Russos at the moment have more pull than they did before Endgame. In the state that the MCU is in right now, I think the Russos made a decision to bring in whoever and whatever they want, including Black Panther. No, did you hear what I said about they'll bring him in and then there's no guarantee they'll use him continuously. Plus, the movie's already been scripted, and if they're going to use Black Panther or not, that's been decided. Now, what they call Black Panther, that could always change up until release. They'll call him T'Chanda, T'Challa, T'Chaka, T'Child, Toussaint,
I think it would be kind of hard for them to go away from him if he pops. So if you get a Wesley Snipes as Blade type reaction, which let's be honest. If they recast a character named T'Challa excuse me, too much of an open door. If they recast T'Challa, I said a character named T'Challa.
Yes,
If
yes.
they recast T'Challa, it's going to pop more than Wesley Snipes' Blade, and at that point they will have put themselves in a pickle where they're. I mean, yeah, no, let's send that guy back to
it'll pop
next
more
universe
than
and
the
go
RDJ
higher.
announcement.
It absolutely will. So now we hear them, we see them just putting that in the corner and saying, no. Ryan got first swing. Really? And we just talked about the state of Marvel, right? And how much leverage, like Raymond said, the amount of leverage that they have now. That's not for nothing. That's because of the shit that they've been putting out. Not really in a position to play hardball, especially when something's popular.
The question just overall remains, and again, this is why I said we just have to honestly wait to see. But the question just remains where Marvel Studios is on continuously tying Chadwick Boseman to T'Challa. Are they ready to stop doing that?
Yes.
And actually recast the character? Or are we still mourning 5 years later? Not saying that you can't, but I'm saying as a studio, I'm not even getting into that part. Are we still mourning Chadwick Boseman and still tying him selfishly, weirdly, morbidly to this character? That's what has to. I mean, because we just have to know. I mean, we don't know right now. We don't know. All we are, I like the conversations we have. We get to speculate and have the things, and people come in and say. But right now, until Marvel Studios gets out here and says, you know what, we're doing it.
Well, Darius, first they've got to be asked if they're doing it, and E-Man literally did not ask. He said, "Nah, yeah, I already know. Nate Moore already knows what I said. I talked to Nate Moore already, bro. I'm not asking. What do you mean? I'm just gonna ask another question,
That's
guys."
the source. That's forget everything else. If he cuts the conversation off right then and there, at least I got that question answered. But I mean, that's just me. I don't know. People. He's a journalist. Maybe he had other maneuvers he was trying to work out. I don't know, but I just couldn't have let that man leave my presence without
the old "don't ask the question" maneuver, and he'll give me the answer maneuver.
Like, are you gonna recast T'Challa?
Are you still mourning? Are you still sad? It's been 2 years since your quote about your truth and how you didn't want to do it.
He's still mourning. He got emotional on the Breakfast Club, which is fine. That is okay.
I think he's starting to level some of that off. Because what's the guy's name? The most recent interview he did.
Straw Hat Goofy.
There you go. Black dude, right? He does a lot of Marvel and DC stuff. Okay. In that interview, he was talking about Chadwick.
How he went to Mexico.
One of the more pertinent. Yeah. Right. So that shit blew me away, bro. Like, are you kidding me? The man is prepping for the movie in Mexico with his family, and you just anyways.
It sounded like he wanted that movie to happen.
Really fucking bad. Really bad. Anywho, one of the most pertinent things that came out of that discussion, he talking about, it was another individual where he named it. He was like, yeah, that's my dude, Mike. And I've known him since I was a kid. I only knew Chadwick for a brief moment in time. I'm like, son of a bitch. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
We know. That's why you didn't know about the sickness, bro.
Act like it, bro.
God. Now that's how, but that's how magnificent Chadwick was as a person, that he left this much of an impact in the significant time. So, right.
And I agree with that. But at the same time, as I've said many times when talking about the cast and crew and Marvel grieving Chadwick, none of you knew he was even sick. So how much can you really say how close you were to him? How big of an I can't speak on the impact he had on your life, but just how well friends you were or anything like that. Like it's strange. It's strange. But I saw a post on Facebook from, I don't remember who the YouTubers were. I wish I could. Not Facebook, sorry, Instagram. Where they were talking about, there was some Black podcasters. They were talking about all the Marvel Black projects that are just cut and that aren't happening or have been shelved, and what's going on and things like that. The conversations we have all the time, but it was just refreshing to see another Black group having that conversation, because I was like, yeah. So we're not the only, it's not just our group, our community that's seeing this. It is other Black folks that are seeing this too. So I don't know. Again, I'm patiently waiting, and and this is the last thing I'm saying, I'm done. Patiently waiting. I'm still going to see Doomsday, but I will tell you, like, one of the reasons I haven't really been talking about Doomsday, talking about any of that stuff, like, is because I'm still excited to see it, but my excitement isn't over the top, and I don't want to make it sound like because my guy's not in the movie. Well, my guy's not in the movie, but also because you're choosing not to put him in the movie with selfishness and and all that type of shit and stuff like that. So it's like I'm excited for it, but at the same time I'm like, bro, yeah, okay. I want to see the Black guys. I want to see the Black characters. I do. I'm sorry. I want to see the Black characters. So
in the leads, and imagine if there was a Blade movie and a Storm movie and Falcon and things were being, Photon got her own film. But look, you said something about those Instagram people. We steer conversation. When myself and Fatal J orchestrated that trending day thing, that YouTuber deleted villain all of a sudden had a YouTube video talking about T'Challa and how this is funny, they're not recasting, and then he definitely made sure to talk about T'Challa in a negative light. Now we don't want no give him a son version, and I was like, good, that message is coming across because of what I did, and because of the conversations we've had and like the practice that we've had talking about it. We got deleted villain to do it to his audience, who would rather listen to Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef updates, but they got to see recast T'Challa, a few thousand of them. We're making our ways onto the Instagram pages, and some of our work is meaningful, and it feels like it's not sometimes. And I'm very deprecating. Is that what's the word, Marcus? Self-deprecating. You're not even listening to me. Self-deprecating, I think it is.
Deprecating, yeah.
Deprecating.
Yeah.
Like I'll be like, I'm down on myself, and I'm not giving myself all the achievements that I deserve. Right?
Mhm.
That's self-deprecating.
There
But
you go.
still, there's people talking about it, bro. There's people. It's clicking. Maybe the more times we say the word T'Challa, the more people remember that in the fandom. Like, he's not Peter Parker. He's T'Challa. It's like a foreign name. You can't even remember. I'm trying to remember all these names on Ianu Child of Wonder because they're all so foreign. We've been saying T'Challa so much and using it on Twitter that now people actually know who exactly T'Challa is. This was a very fruitful 2 years, and every word every comment, every reply that we do, every retweet, everything that we do on YouTube comment sections, except for on New Rockstars, because you can't type the word T'Challa unless you spell it incorrectly with one L, then they'll let you pass. But it's a blocked search term. It's a blocked term. All of our work is
bullied Eric Voss into muting T'Challa on the comments. That's crazy.
We got to talk to Jessica Clemens. We got to get to her. She'll be like, hey, Eric, what's going on here?
I told y'all we were already winning the messaging war when Shannon Sharp, when Uncle Shay Shay asked Ryan Coogler to be the next T'Challa. We're winning the messaging war. Now the next one is to convince them that it's going to affect their bottom line if they don't pay up. But
they've already decided.
That's the only thing. I don't think they've already decided.
Darius Source said that at Comic-Con, so long as it doesn't leak, we're gonna get news. And sometimes things leak, and then, did you see what happened? I'm gonna change the subject for a second. Jeff Snyder said this woman, it was this Oscar-winning woman, her name was like Mickey something. She has been reached out from Star Wars. A couple hours later, the same day, Variety said she will not be playing the Star Wars character, and they basically just did that to decredit Jeff Snyder. But then Jeff Snyder came back and said, guys, I only said it was a rumor. I didn't actually read it. And that's called, in the journalistic, that's called fishing or something. There was a term for it, right? You can do that to make them respond to it. And he was sounding like, yeah, I know I got it wrong, but I kind of got it wrong on purpose. And I'm buying what he was selling. Like, I don't know if that makes me a Jeff Snyder fanboy or anything, but because he's been so accurate with news and so plentiful with it, I'm like, oh, he probably did do that on purpose. You reported the Star Wars
just to elicit a reaction.
So I believe Darius when he says, I cannot believe, but there's something there when his source says Comic-Con will have the T'Challa actor come back unless it gets leaked out, and the trades ruin it.
That'd be crazy. I mean, it would literally shut down the internet. It would be the biggest Comic-Con ever. And to have that followed up behind Doctor Doom, it would instantly change my expectations for Doomsday. Instantly. Call it bias, call it what you want, but I would be 100% bought in, and I would probably spend a good 3 to 4 days a week until the movie came out theorizing about how it was all going to go down. I can guarantee it. I would milk my channel for everything it's worth in terms of content around theorizing for Doomsday. Guaranteed.
3 months away. Somewhere in this 3 months, we're doing a trending day. I haven't decided when. I'll talk to Fatal J about it. Marcus.
Yes, sir.
Was that a Charles Barkley guarantee?
Guarantee.
I'm gonna miss them.
Look at what I just sent you in your DMs. Chill. I haven't watched it yet, but I guess this is what they showed. And yes, two things on what Raymond said. He's talking about now I want to see black characters. It is not the same. I'm not going back to Harry Potter, but it is not the same with Harry Potter. Harry simply cannot be black. I mean, it's just really that simple. It's just really that simple. Because of his background, because of where he comes from, because of things that make him inherently fucking white, that character cannot be black.
Yeah.
Oh, we got some Star Wars.
Y'all got me yawning on here, man.
All right. Hey, one more super.
They showed footage from the Mandalorian and Grogu film.
Oh.
And I sent that to you. I wasn't sending you fucking Rhoda the Hutt, cool, but the footage from the Mando Grogu film is what I sent.
There was a DM you sent me with footage.
It should be above it. I'm looking at it.
Okay. Should I play it? No, I'm not playing it.
Yeah, if they strike it, I'll trim it out.
I think this is one of those where they strike it. It's a real strike. I'm not gonna risk it.
Are you sure?
Put it in the Pantheon thing so I can see it.
I'll give you a screenshot of it, a still shot of it. Here. It's a whole bunch of people who are bad guys, the stormtroopers, and it's about a 2 minute 14 seconds.
Troopers.
Snow trooper?
Those are snow troopers.
Excuse me. Should I play it?
Don't play it. No. Not if you in your gut think that they're gonna strike us like that.
Yeah, it's a big one. I think we just gotta wait a day, and that footage will be public. Usually, that's how it works. What is it from?
It's from Celebration. It is a 2 minute and 14 second clip. They are showing a shit ton.
I see ats. Yeah, this is a trailer, bro. In 2026, and they don't have a date. It just says 2026.
Really hope this movie isn't trash.
Opening action scene. That opening action scene with Mando and those snow troopers, that shit was when Star Wars fucking Star Wars, it's good.
Can I say something that this is not Star Wars? This angle and this, I'll play it, but look. That presentation of the words coming from the bottom of the screen up on an angle that's never been. We do opening crawls here at Star Wars, but that
we do opening crawls for movies that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, for the episodes, not just every willy-nilly.
If you are getting a side thing, you don't get an opening crawl.
So then, are you welcome to this title appearing on the screen from the bottom left? Because I'm not. I think that's weird. Am I being too picky with it? Maybe sometimes I am. I'm prone to do that here on this channel a lot of times.
I'm fine with it just because Rogue One opens literally boom, that's how it opens and you're there. There's nothing. At least with this, they gave you a logo for them.
Yup. Hey,
I don't even
where we going?
How, the terrible Solo movie opens. think we have one more super, and that should be.
Let's make this money.
Make this money, take this money. Ain't no way you can take this money. Ain't funny, take it, honey.
Michael Nemo, he says, no comment of the loose off the cuff rumor that a Star Wars horror film is in the works. This is the weekend we get that announced if it's going to happen, bro. But there's rumors that every Star Wars is, it's happening. Rumors for Kathleen Kennedy and her future projects mean nothing anymore. Mandalorian Grogu might not happen.
Star Wars doesn't need horror.
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing.
I don't think Star Wars needs a horror element at all.
Between this, the Ryan Gosling, Sean Levy movie, they're just throwing shit at the wall. And the fact that that's what they're leading with, that's what we get to talk about. Mando and Grogu, we've been new about. Sean Levy is the new, or Sean Levy and Gosling are the new kids on the block. Got a Star Wars horror film in the bucket. I don't think they have any rotor here. I don't think they have any type of direction. They're out to sea without a paddle.
This is how it works. Bob Iger says, Kathy, your movies are too expensive. She goes, you know what's not expensive? Horror. Let's do a horror movie.
You don't. So before we get out of here, what is our bet on a Daisy Field weekend?
Yeah, Daisy.
I don't think she's there. No, fuck no. I don't think.
Oh, really?
I think the Civil War and Lucasfilm has held some of that shit at bay. I think if they were going full on Daisy Ridley, I don't even think they wait. That's just me. But I think we would have heard something. First of all, if she comes out, what we should be getting is footage, right? Or details about a plot or concept art or costume.
They gave footage for Grogu Mando.
Right, for Grogu Mando. Something that we know is moving along.
Hold on. But her next film, because remember, Levy's film is 5 years after The Rise of Skywalker. So it is technically its episode 10.
Did you see the thing? It said not a sequel, not a prequel, a new adventure.
Oh, did it say not a sequel?
What is
okay?
Yeah,
but it's still 5. It's still 5 years after The Rise of Skywalker. Why mention The Rise of Skywalker then? Why even tell us that? Oh, hey, this is 5 years after an event in the Skywalker saga.
Future project to let you know what time period is happening. I don't think. First of all, you can't announce it's not a sequel and then bounce off of damn Rey and bounce off of Rey Palpatine. You know?
Yeah, but if the story's not around Rey.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's probably not going to have anything to do with her.
Not if he goes to her. If she's building this new little Jedi temple, or whatever. I'm not saying that she's heavy in it, but maybe.
Then it doesn't matter how good the movie is. I'm out regardless. If she's building a new Jedi,
that's what they're doing though. She's building the Jedi temple.
Okay,
that's what she set out to do.
Well,
that's what
I feel like
she
you're
said it in 9.
The information. Also, we don't know if Levy's movie is going to play into that at all. We just know it's happening 5 years after her. We don't know if he's going to run into her whatsoever. And if I'm Sean Levy and I have this pocket in the middle of the Lucasfilm downfall to create my own standalone project that could be successful away from the other Star Wars reputation, I'm doing that. I'm not hitching myself to the Rey train to kiss Kathleen Kennedy's butt. I'm just not doing
it. The Rey train.
I think it's going to be a contained story that's going to be centered around Gosling. But I do think at some point in that film, I don't know if it's at the end and she's doing when at the end of episode 8 when she's holding, or I'm sorry, episode fucking 7, she's holding the lightsaber up and then Luke turns around and we were left on that wild cliffhanger. Maybe that's what happens. Maybe she turns around and he's like, "Who are you?" I'm Rey Skywalker.
The fuck you are.
And then you see Kathleen and everybody else's names and feels like Star Wars again. Lucasfilm's back, baby.
Nah.
You don't think so?
Daisy Ridley is in the Philippines filming her new movie. In theory, let's say she could get on a plane to Tokyo. It is closer than London to LA. but she isn't
She
number
not
one
even
in the
need that.
call
That's
sheet,
fine.
so the opposite is unlikely.
No,
That's
not
fine,
being number
'cause you
one on
know
the
what
call
they'll
sheet
do? You know
means
what
she
they'll
doesn't have
do?
scenes to film today. So it's more likely she'll be there. Hey, give me one day. Guys, on this one day, I gotta leave set to do my Star Wars obligations. You're not using me on this scene. Yeah, we're not. You're not on the call sheet. You're like number 7 on the call sheet or whatever.
So
Even if she does have a lot to film that day, even if she can't make it, it's fine. Because Kathleen's gonna be on stage with her microphone and she's gonna say, all right, and you know what we have for everybody who joined us all the way from the Philippines to talk to you about episodes 10, 11, and 12. Ray Skywalker. And then she's gonna come on the screen. Yep.
So 2 years after she gets announced that they're coming back to make a project on her, they're gonna pull her up on a fucking Zoom at Star Wars Celebration, and that's what's telling you the movie's actually getting made.
It's still coming.
Look, guys,
Hey, like-
we virtualed her in. She's shooting another movie right now, but she was nice enough to get on the call.
Hey, I'm telling you, what other direction? I mean, there's many directions they could go, but in their minds, what other direction do you go with your Obi-Wan? They called her their Obi-Wan.
Oh, their Obi-Wan.
No, I'm saying if you are Lucasfilm, where do you go? Because in their minds, she is the way forward. It's like, remember they said we don't have any other interest. What they say? I don't want to misquote them.
Viable.
I don't think they said.
I need
That's what they
a
said.
Hunger Games District 12 level rebellion. I need force from within. We need to resist Governor Snow. We cannot let this happen. They are about to put the champions back in the games, and we can't let this shit happen. You understand what I'm putting down? Absolutely not. For all the soldiers within Lucasfilm who are circling the drain, who are fighting the good fight, fight on. Fight on. Put gas slacks in Kathleen Kennedy's coffee that morning. Pull out all the wires and the plugs.
Hold on. He's joking, everybody. This is jokes. None of this is serious.
X-Lax, it'll just make her poop. It's not going to kill her.
You know,
I didn't know what it was. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just a laxative. It's just not going to kill her.
I think I think Theory's movie is going to change the game because it's going to show. Now, granted, unless you have millions and millions like that to kind of throw towards a project to give it the quality that people are wanting to see, but I think it changes because it shows again. You as a fan can literally make the story you want to make with the franchise that you feel is failing you. He's doing it.
He should release it on Twitter.
He's got the money
only
to do it,
and when he releases it on YouTube, they're
only.
gonna do some sort of trademark, or they'll do something to make it not. You know how you can play with a video, right? If you deplatform it in the first day, and then it'll go back up after they solve everything after like 24 hours, and that watch time will dip because the momentum will be affected. He should release it on Twitter where that problem is not going to exist.
You think that Lucasfilm would do some nefarious shit after giving him permission?
They did the first time, didn't they? They said that the music was a problem.
They did, didn't they? They did, didn't they?
And that was before Pablo Hidalgo and him crying. So this is it. Now he's friends with Geeks and Gamers, and he does videos about John Boyega is calling the fans racist. And yeah, I don't think Star Wars Theory is going to ever get back on there again.
I hate when he taps in on the racist Star Wars fan conversation because he's coming at it from the typical white male perspective. He's like, well, we have Mace Windu, we have Lando. There's no stop. That is crazy.
I can see through that Manila veneer. Like it there's black in you somewhere. Act like it. Stand up. Jesus. Did you just name the 3 black men in the entire Star Wars universe and use that as a justification for not being racist?
Haley Steinfeld would never.
Like, fam, did you run in here and say you have 3 black Finns and that's why you're not racist?
Right. I voted Obama.
I'm friends with Lando and Mace and Finn. So how could I be racist? Get your ass on.
It's crazy. It is crazy. All right, Pantheon streamers and
Time out.
Viewers,
We got a
time
late
out.
game edition. We got seen Sinners. Thoughts? What's up, Chill? Hey, Kings. I've not seen it yet. Marcus has not seen it yet. The guy on the right has seen it. How you think? Would you give it a rating?
6 or 7 out of 10.
Oh,
Now that we're on
thing
that again, though,
totally
I will
creeping up.
say
He's a
I think
5 or
he
6 to
should.
start.
Yeah, I went up on it. It's a 6 or 7. 6 or 7. 5 was 6 or 7. I think I gave it a 5 because I really wanted to be scared and I wasn't. So I judged it too harshly because of that. So
Rewind.
6 or 7.
Minute 44 of this stream is where we talked Sinners, and you'll probably enjoy that the most.
I think he would do very good though if he did, like, I know I'm not looking for more of these films like that. I want more positive films and, showing Black folks in a more positive light. But he might really handle a period slavery film very well.
Oh,
Very well. Yeah, like I said, not that we're looking for more of those, but he might handle a period film like a Selma or a something like that very well, because so you just got to see Sinners. You got to see Sinners to understand where I'm coming from with that, if that even makes sense.
Word. Pantheon complete.
Appreciate
Thank you
y'all.
all for coming.
Yep. Appreciate all the supers. Michael Nemo, as always, filling our pockets. Appreciate it. Everybody that tuned in.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you. Follow me at Back of the Bus. Follow the Pantheon Clips channel. It's a struggle bus channel at the moment. Help us out.
Culture said he likes telling ghetto stories. That's all. I think if you gave him like an actual event that happened, biography type film, I think he could do it. Just judging off of that, I think he could do it.
Rock out. I'm fucking with it. We out.
I'm sorry.
How did you
Click it
go
twice.
back?
Click the twice. Do it again.
No, he's telling you, Marcus, to say it again.
Yeah, you got to call Josh.
I'm fucking with it. We out.
Hey, I've been watching y'all every single time on Thursday and Friday, because I swear to God, y'all switch up every now and then. But rock out. I'm fucking with it. I'm out.
Thank you, Josh.
Appreciate it.
I know.